Uh, okay, give it a second to start up. Okay, welcome one and all to another exciting episode of Low Initiatives D&D. We just finished an insane process of doing way too much D&D. Everyone has gotten their Paragon stuff. Everything has been updated. So as we get into tonight, anything to remember? Anything? Nope. Nope. Okay. Yeah. So when last we saw the heroes of the Onyx Circle, after dealing with a lot of troubles in and around our Oasis and the Ever Shifting Sands, dealing with one problem after another, they had come into employ of the Brass Sultan after being on the run from Lateste after the Platinum Band had betrayed them and outed them as criminals. So to avoid, arrest and possible other bad shit, the party ventured forward, started working for the Sultan. Um, but after you guys started working for him, you guys started getting more in the loop of the situation and found out that there was still a lot of crazy shit happening. Mostly with a group referred to as the Green Hand. And after performing a job for the Sultan, you guys had discovered new information, and after relaying that information to the Sultan, and after a bit of research and investigation, you guys and the Brass Court came to the realization that uh, the Green Hand is either ran by or seriously backed by dragons. Um, what's worse is they also seem to have access to weaponry that is pretty insane, to include actual firearms. Um, so after dealing with all this and you guys semi-failing that job for the Sultan, it was tasked to you all to improve. And the way you guys were doing that is you guys had a month to basically work under the tutelage of some master. And each of you guys received training to assist, hopefully. We shall see. And you guys all know your own stories. And we last set off with it is about a day and a half, 2 days until the technical end of the month. You guys had all fallen asleep, and you guys are all awake. You guys get ready, go throughout your routine and stuff like that in the respective rooms. Reina,
Yep.
you get woken up, and as you're going through your routine, you do run into Grom. He is taking his biannual bath. When you are in the bathroom, getting ready for the day. And he instructs you that you still got the 2 days and that, you're free to spend them how you would like. Basically, have no other duties till then. So,
Question: does the bath turn like black?
there is like the water that's running because they have like a faucet system.
Hmm.
Basically, the water is clear going on him and it's just like almost black running off.
Yeah, see, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
Just wanted to ask.
At least you'll be clean. Thank you.
And as he's scrubbing, like a boil just falls off of him and falls onto the thing. You're like, what the fuck? And then you realize, oh, that's not a boil. It was just a frog. And then you gotta
I,
really question why, how, and because the frog is clearly dead, and it's been dead for maybe a couple days.
friend of yours?
He reaches over, picks it up, and he's like, huh, and he tosses it in his mouth. Nope, snack.
You know most people use their beard to catch crumbs.
And he starts scratching his chin and pondering this.
Anyways, I'll be off.
Yep. And you finish your getting ready and stuff like that. Where would you like to head?
I'm going to head to Dick's. It's been a while. I want to see my friends I haven't seen in a while.
Cool beans. Um, Conrad,
Yes.
You wake up.
Okay, what do I wake up to?
Delphine.
Wait, isn't it Alphine?
Delphine, sorry. God damn it.
I mean, if I'll go with her sister,
no,
then I would have
definitely no.
questions.
Yeah, she would.
It's okay. He also got it wrong.
Yeah,
You
I
wake
did
up
too.
with twins in your bed.
Anyway, so.
Yeah. And she is passed out, like a foot away from you on the opposite side of the bed.
Alright, Conrad just kind of, gets up. So what happened, if we kind of discuss this off screen, Conrad's bathed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You are naked though, still.
Yeah, I am still naked. So, yeah. So, Conrad will just kind of get up and, as far as I'm aware, Rena, yes. Anyway, he'll get up and, does, Alfie get awake at all?
No.
Okay. He'll just go to his room.
Kind of rolls over. You know what your relationship with her is like. She
Oh,
doesn't-
yeah, easily, yeah. Yeah, so he'll just get up and walk out and, head to his room.
Okay. Nat,
Yes.
you wake up. You're curled up, cuddled. You are the little spoon, and you have a couple.
Of course. Yeah, she tries to get up, so she can stretch.
You do so.
She's like hands in the air. I'm pretty sure I'm naked.
Yes.
Okay, and she will find her stuff. She still needs to find out where she put her stuff.
Oh, go ahead and just do a perception check.
Can do.
Hold on a quick second. I want to pull something up. Okay. Yeah, you find all your stuff, and you see your clothing in a stack on the table, and next to it you see a brand new fresh bag.
What a nice bag, she says. And she feels it.
It's a bag.
Ooh.
Seems to be filled with stuff.
Okay.
It's like a backpack,
Yeah.
just to be clear.
Nat does get dressed.
Okay. And Nat, you notice that your armor looks different.
One sec. Repeat that.
You notice as you're putting it on and you're getting your stuff together, your armor looks a little different.
What
So
happened?
does your dagger.
What for what kind of changes?
The rune work seems to be better. You notice that there is a second line, like, where the big runes are. Some of them are now encased in small rune work. And there seems to be more of it.
Okay, so the dagger has more runes on it. And what about the armor?
The same thing.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me check your crap real quick. Yeah, no Arcana check needed. It looks like this has been upgraded and empowered. The enchantment on this seems to have changed for the better.
She does look at it. It's like, She's like holding up, just looking at it. But she puts the dagger back where it usually is.
You do so.
And as soon as she's dressed and ready to go, she'll have.
Okay. You do so. And as you're exiting the room, you open up the door and you see a very naked Conrad in front of you.
I called it. Okay.
Actually, I called it. But anyway,
Yeah, you did. You actually did call it. I was like, okay. And of course, I recognize him, right?
Yes.
Now it's like, hey, naked. She's
Conrad like just kind of cocks his head around. Oh, hello, Victoria.
And I forgot to mention, Reina, as you were getting together, your stuff had also been improved. Especially your kukris. It's shinier.
I have questions, but I don't want to cut into this scene.
and she does go up to him, and she does go hug him.
You get a hug.
He's kind of he kind of like was a bit surprised by it, and he just kind of wraps his arms around.
Okay, Connor, give me a perception check.
Okay.
Wait, what's he doing?
Perception check. Hang on. Yeah, wait. Keep forgetting how to. Oh, there we go.
You notice there's like some suction things. Given your nature, they almost look like octopus markings.
What's that on your neck? Alright.
Yeah, mostly around her neck.
He's kind of looks at her.
What, are you gonna do the thing where you start poking it now?
Well, he probably touches it. Yeah, he's like, like kind of like, like boops it.
It all circles. It all circles back. And she's like, of course, she's still in the middle of the hug. She's just like, huh?
Yeah, you got some marks on your neck. Looks like suction cup mark.
Nat also feels it. Is it like a
little
something I
tender.
can feel? Oh, well, you look at that. And
Was
she says, yeah, she says, what does it look? It's like, oh, I guess, what, it looks like tentacles or something?
It does, yeah. And then did Conrad like see what door she came out of?
Yeah,
Okay.
give me an intelligence check.
Yeah. Shall do.
Because I think I know what you're gonna be thinking.
Oh,
Oh.
nat 20.
Nice.
Yeah, Conrad. Yeah, you know exactly what room she just came out of.
Okay. Oh. Her name
What?
was Grendel, right? Out of character, Grendel.
Yes.
So you have been seeing Grendel then, have you? Kind of smirks.
Oh, and you've been seeing somebody else again, huh? And she's like raising an eyebrow at you.
I didn't say anything. I just thought, yeah, that's good for you. Getting over your fear, as it were.
Yeah, you can say that. And but why don't you get some pants on? And she just like does a hand to the chest.
Yeah, I actually don't know where my clothes are. I was drugged out naked, apparently.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was kind of funny.
Thanks. And he just kind of turns around and goes to his room.
And she not just waits there.
Okay. You go to the guy's room.
Mm-hmm.
Been a month. You don't even know if this is still your room. But you knock on the door. What? You just walk in?
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, to what? You knock or you walk in?
I walk in.
Okay. The door is open. You go and look. First thing you notice is the table in here is littered with books.
Okay.
Littered with books. Like there is a stack of books so high next to the desk or the table. It's on the same height as the table. So, and in a corner you do see a pile of crap that seems to have been tossed in there.
Does any of it look like mine?
Yes.
Okay. There it is, Conrad says. And he kind of walks towards it.
Okay. You gather your things.
Do I see anyone else in the room by chance?
What was that? Do you see what and what?
Do I see anyone else?
No, you do not.
Okay. Yep. So Conrad's just gonna kind of matter-of-factly, put his stuff back on, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. You do so.
Okay.
First thing you notice is your short swords look a little sparkly.
Does one of them still see shorter like the other, like because of the ass?
No, they're fully fixed and ready to go.
Huh? He just kind of like looks at them like like, and he inspects it a little bit like that's interesting.
And you also notice that your bow looks a little different.
Hmm. He just kind of takes a pause at that, and then he'll just kind of gather all his gear, make sure everything's nothing
Wait.
was like left.
My bad, your bow looks the same.
Oh, my bow looks the same.
Yep, sorry, wrong notes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway. So
Oh, no.
he'll kind
Wait,
of.
was your bow a +1?
It was a +1, and you told me it was a +2 now.
Okay, then never mind. It does look shinier. I couldn't
See,
remember
that's-
if it was already a 1 or a 2.
No worries.
Sorry, a lot of numbers to remember.
That's perfectly fine. So Conrad, just kind of like pauses at that, and he'll make sure he has all his gear, and once that's done, he'll head downstairs.
Okay. You do so. Um, As you go-
Yeah. One sec. Nat was actually like waiting. Did I notice any physical changes on Conrad or anything?
Oh, by the way, so just for role playing wise, Conrad didn't close the door; he just left it open.
yeah, you do notice that ever since he came out of the room, he has a nice beard.
Nice
Over
what?
a beard. Over this month, he has not shaven whatsoever.
Nat's like, hold up.
And it looks kind of funky, Nat. It almost looks like it was maybe grown for even longer than a month, honestly, with how much it is.
Nat's like, wait right there, Conrad. And she's like steps up, and she like runs her finger through it.
It is silky smooth.
That's like, damn.
He just kind of like allows her to like touch him. He's like, "What are you doing, Nat?"
Well, that's it. Damn. Just like, nothing.
I imagine this was like happening while he was putting his clothes on, so he's just kind of like.
Oh God! Well, I wasn't doing during your clothes. I mean, I mean, if that's the case, then I guess that happens.
That's what I was imagining. But anyway.
You don't even realize
Uh,
he's trying to get dressed as you just play and fondle with Conrad's beard.
Exactly.
I was just very like curious about it. So
She's just stroking his face while he's putting his pants on. Like, okay.
Give me an
Okay, if it
acrobatics
comes out
check,
that way.
Conrad.
Sure, why not?
Just for shits and giggles.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. Why not? Of course. Let's see. Yeah. 18.
Okay.
That's a 2, by the way.
You trip over a couple times. You don't fall, but
Okay.
you almost do.
Fair enough.
As you're
Yeah,
trying to
classic
keep
putting
your...
the pants on.
Yeah, as like she's trying to touch your beard, you're trying not to move too much, and so it's like it's difficult.
Stop waving that flag.
Never.
Okay. So as you fondle the beard and as you get dressed, Maria,
Hello.
you awaken.
Oh. It's all good. I'm in the room I was previously in.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. As I sit up, in like a big yawn, and there's Jacques or Mithrak in the room.
Vithrak is.
Okay.
She's currently at the table reading.
I just get up, go brush my fingers through my hair, forgetting about that one side. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't need to deal with that anymore. And it just goes up to Mithrak and just like peer over and be like, oh, what you reading?
The Greatest Assassinations of All Time. Volume 2.
She's learning how to kill.
So proud, so proud. I'm gonna pursue my donut back and be like, looks interesting. No one has.
It is.
Mm.
There's an extensive chapter of garrote wire.
Do I know what that is?
Roll me a intelligence check, just generic intelligence.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I'm just gonna nod and agree and pretend to know what she's saying. Be like, interesting. Is
She looks over her shoulder. Are you gonna get your titties out of my face, or what?
I can do that. And I'll just like look around for some clothes super quick.
You notice that your armor is on the back of a chair.
Okay.
I'm not gonna have you roll for it. Your armor looks very different.
How different?
In a lot of the spacing on the leather,
Mm-hmm.
there seems to be like a darkish black hide stitched into it, covering up a lot of spaces, and this hide seems to be running throughout your entire armor. And the rune work on your armor looks a little different as well.
I'll take a quick gander and be like, ooh, pretty.
Yeah, oh yeah, he had a message. So you don't die.
Shaq did this?
Yeah, I think he wants to keep you safe or something.
Is he in the... And she's just gonna point to the coffin.
Yeah, he was up for a good chunk of the morning to try to get that rushed in.
She's just gonna like kneel down to where she would think the head bit would be, and just be like, whisper like, "Thank you, it's very pretty," and she'll just like get it on.
Okay, you do so.
It's so good. Like, I'm gonna see if everybody else is awake, and as I just finish myself off, I'll just go out, just look and see if anyone's up.
Okay. As you step out of Jacques' room, you see Conrad still partially trying to get on, his clothes, as Nat is just right next to him, just going with his beard.
Nat's like, why am I so fascinated with this? And she keeps doing it.
Hey! And she just like waves her hands up.
Oh, hello,
And-
Maria.
Maria.
Connor's like, just puts his shirt back on.
And no perception needed, Maria, with your passive. You also notice the marks around Nat's neck.
Rose just gonna giggle but not say anything. But yeah. Just for our picks, notes and all you guys would know that Rui's hair is definitely different. She's got like her hair's still long, but she's got a shaved side to. What side was the marking on? I don't-
I believe it was the right side.
yeah. So the right side is all shaved off.
Ah, rocking a new look, Maria. Looks fierce.
Yeah. I found a fin, and she's just gonna like turn her head and point to where she thinks the marking is.
Oh, when did you get that?
I don't know.
You look, and there's a faint scar across her head.
Would I be able to, like, just, like, by looking at it, judge how old it is?
Give me a heal check.
Sure. As Conrad is finished putting on the
It looks old, very old.
Oh, seems like an old injury.
Yeah. Like I
Way
said,
it's
I don't know
stretched
how I got there.
Stuff. It seems like maybe like childhood.
Did Conrad, like, say, kind of cock his head? Was that kind of responsible for your memory loss, son?
She's just gonna shrug her shoulders and be like, I don't know. Did find out some more information, though. Don't know exact details. But it's all good.
Yeah, either way, I love the new look, Conrad says, and he continues to put on his clothes.
Yeah. I'm liking the
This one's got
beard.
a new look too. As she boops the chin again.
Question. How long is said beard?
It's pretty long.
Is it Gandalf long?
No.
Oh, okay. I wanted to know if I
Are we
could use like Conrad's beard and wrap it as a scarf around there.
It's about as long as Damasarius when you guys first met him.
Okay, really interesting.
Yeah, I don't have any
Conrad,
perspective
even
of
you're
that.
surprised. Like, this is not a month's worth of hair growing.
Actually, speaking of, how's his hair?
It's a little bit longer as well.
But not like overly long, is it?
I mean, depends on what you think overly long is.
That's fair.
I can't believe they did season 2 redesigns.
Well, not yet. Anyway, actually, we'd probably be more in season 3 if anything.
This is like
But
5.
yeah. Anyway, Conrad's like, yeah, it's kind of grown a bit more than I expected. I mean, it's only been a month for me.
Conrad, give me an intelligence check.
Shall do?
Okay. It seemed to spontaneously grow over moments that you spent not here.
Oh, kind of like in that one space.
Yep.
I was like, I think I actually have an idea of why it grows too fast. I probably tell you guys about it over a drink. You want to head down?
Yes. As Riri is already
Yeah.
skipping downstairs.
Yeah, Conrad kind of gets the rest of his clothes, buttons his jacket, and heads down.
It hits down too. She's like checking her own hair, like, maybe.
Okay.
A lot of you guys slept in because a lot of you guys kind of arrived late, and some of you guys over your training were pretty fucking exhausted. So, it is definitely not early morning. It is closer towards the afternoon. It's almost like 11. And as you guys are walking down, you notice a very chipper-looking, familiar, roguish, changeling walk through the door.
Raina, how you doing?
Raina!
Hello.
Hey, hi, Beard.
I know, right?
It's pretty.
Yes.
Immediately goes to put my fingers through it.
Okay, this is the thing now. Mind if we sit down first before
No.
you, okay. Conrad's gonna continue
Oh.
walking while he's stroking his...
Matt says, I'll buy you a drink. What do you want?
Reina, roll me just a straight wisdom.
Okay, give me a second. Eat.
Conrad, as she's doing it, you notice that she's starting to grow a very similar beard.
Okay, I see you're kind of, mimicking the beard.
Huh? Oh. Oh. Fair
Immediately
enough.
stops growing.
Like it on you. I don't think it's really my style though. And Rhea, that's like the new do. That is a very
Mm.
you got a scar apparently.
Yeah. I don't know about this one, but yeah. Ron asked her spirits in regards to the memory thing. The spirits found a scar. Ron got a pair of scissors and a blade and started cutting my hair, and then she didn't do a good job of cutting my hair, so then she got the handmaids. The handmaids are really good at cutting my hair. Praise to them, and she starts clapping. Rory is very
There's
chipper
actually
and
a
happy
thought.
today.
There's a thought. But anyway, hang on, like, let's get around, guys. You know, we have hardly seen each other in, like, a while now, so... Let's get some food, a drink or two, and, you know, chat around.
Reina,
No,
do you
it's-
suck in the beard?
Before I suck in a beard, I'm going to try my best in mixing Rhea's hairdo and Conrad's beard.
Okay, you do so.
What do you guys think?
Interesting choice.
Yeah, not for me. And just shake my head to just like suck them both in.
You do so. Luckily, none of the patrons here seem to notice.
High evolution.
Is Dix already in?
You see Dix, he is currently talking to a dwarf who's at the counter, and they seem to be going back and forth about something.
What are they saying?
Or you can go over and find out.
I'm gonna go over and find out.
Let's go over and find out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So are we going up to the bar itself?
That's where
then?
they are.
Okay.
And as you guys are walking up, the dwarf at the bar says, "That's not a basilisk. That's my wife." And they both start laughing.
What time is it right now, by the way?
It's about 11 a.m.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and that's like, damn, I missed the joke.
Hello, Dix.
Oh, hey.
We're looking to get some drinks and maybe some food. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, sure. For all of you.
Yep.
Since you guys have been so good to me, let's put it at 2 gold.
Okay, this guy's got it. Conrad, like, just kind of boops, like, Raina forward.
Oh, well, I suppose I'll pick up the tab. 2 gold then.
Yep.
Just marking that off.
And you guys also notice a Agumon sitting at the barkeep, or at the bar.
Oh.
When
Hi,
Agumon-
Agumon.
So where's Sin? Nat's gonna look around for Sin.
Yeah,
Give me a perception check for those who want to look for him.
I do.
Definitely.
Perceptions.
Yeah. I had up my sheet to roll a perception check, and then I tabbed off it.
Poorly.
Figured it was on the wrong one.
You guys don't see him,
Okay.
and Agumon seems to be holding something out towards you all.
Conrad takes it.
It is a piece of paper, folded, and the inside it says, "To my best idiots. Gonna be meeting up with you guys later. Got a couple more errands to run. Was thinking about maybe doing something in the upper district." And there's a checkbox with a yes and a no.
What do you guys
No.
think? You want to do upper district?
I'm just surprised we're his best idiots.
Say after doing something in the upper district.
Just says something in the upper district.
Oh, we haven't been there much, I don't think.
Well, the only time we were there was, Conrad just kind of says,
Yeah.
but, I'm up for something if you guys are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe there'll be a party going on.
Sounds great. Nat says.
Yeah. And there's party, there's
so, yes.
people.
Conrad will do the checkbox yes.
Do you have a quill?
Anyone got a pen?
I have a pencil.
I think I still have a writing implement somewhere.
Conrad, let's take whoever, got an writing instrument, he'll just do the check yes.
Just
Okay.
take it out of my journal, I'll hand it over.
The paper immediately catches on fire and turns to ash. Conrad, since you were holding it, you take no damage.
Yep.
And then
Oh, that's new.
Agumon flies off.
Well, I hope we got a response.
And you watch as Dix watches as Agumon is flying away. He's like, about fucking time. He brought in 5 gold to drink, and Jesus Christ, thing just kept drinking.
Yeah, it's got quite the liver. I just hope Sin's not, fucked up right now.
I think I was drinking for 2. Nat says.
Exactly.
And to be fair, he is training under Alcor. Probably nothing but 2 drunkards right now.
That's right.
So you hand him the gold, and he has dished you out each a pie and a good old chilled lager.
So as soon as you see down, when they sit down, you see Conrad is just digging into this pie. Like, no manners required. He is just fucking wolfing it down.
You know what? Wisdom check, Conrad.
Sure.
Since you started this.
Shout. Yeah. Now what?
He doesn't even use implements. Like Dick set a fork and a spoon down for each of you guys. He completely ignores it, picks up the pie with one hand, and with the other hand, he's just kind of shoveling it in the gullet.
Yeah, no, I was about to say that actually. So it makes sense.
Go ahead and roll a. Let me see, a D4, Conrad.
Shot it. B4. What do we got?
Okay. And Rhea,
Mhm.
as you guys are all watching this, a piece of his pie
Yes,
flies
fly.
towards you and just smacks you right in the like cheek.
Just like wipe it off. Like, you might want to slow down a bit. Just a
Huh?
little bit.
Why?
Because most of the pie isn't even going in your mouth.
Oh, right. He kind of starts licking his hands.
There we go. Pat, pat, pat.
Did Remy not even feed you?
Well, I fed myself. Like, actually, I like grabbed this one fish, like, but like it had like this giant razor sharp teeth. I just like wrestled it to the, sore, and like, I didn't have a knife at the time, so I just like ripped into it with my bare hand and just started eating it. And he's just saying this matter of factly, he's just eating his pie while he's doing that.
She certainly dragged him somewhere naked while he was naked. That's
I,
Oh yeah, it was like the Sultan's backyard, kind of like
Hmm.
that like little area where all the animals are.
it sounds like your training was more about being naked and afraid then.
Nah.
We're just gonna like lean over and look towards Naz like, did you get dragged away naked?
No.
Alright. Roll me
Actually,
a check, Rhea.
Ever?
Roll me a wisdom check
Yeah.
to see if you stare daggers at her. You get a kind of a shit look, Nat.
That's like, what do you mean by that?
I'm
Well, I
just
mean, like,
asking
I
if
know
you
that.
got. Yeah, I'm just asking if you got dragged away naked. I mean, I got like undressed at one point. Comrade, I mean, just like puts a hand and just points up and down, Comrade.
I mean, it was a whole month, so yeah. Karen nods.
Wait a minute, are you telling me I'm the only one that kept my clothes on?
I don't know. Did you?
And I'm inside there. Can I?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
And that was like, you have to.
Reyna is hard to read,
Okay.
but you trust her. She sounds like she's being forward.
Well, I mean, other than the bath, yes.
There you go then. You got naked at one point.
Yes, in the privacy of my own, palace. Of Sultan's palace. In the privacy of my living quarters.
Speaking of living quarters, do you know anything about a big extravagant room? There was a bathtub, a big bed. There was like a bottle of wine in which I opened a bottle of wine and someone else opened the bottle of wine for me.
That sounds amazing. Conrad says as he's still like eating.
Oh, it's great.
Reyna, yes, you recognize by her description that she may be talking about the royal guest quarters.
Those are the guest quarters, actually. Or royal entertaining and whatnot.
Oh, that room is grey.
It has to be. It's for politics and what's not. Kinda
And
want-
you're very, very surprised that if she stayed there, that's not a room that she should be in.
That's quite impressive, actually. You literally laid in a bed of queens and kings.
I mean, it was a big bed.
Well, probably meant for most kings in his, what is it called?
Christian, how many
Harem?
warriors could you fit in that bed?
I think that's a Damon.
That is a Damon question.
I know, but I just wanted to
I'd
make
say
a
about
joke.
10.
Oh,
Trust me, I had jokes too, but you know,
yeah.
not for stream.
Ray's just running side to side, just happy thinking about that room.
Imagine the joke went as many as Jocks wants.
No, not going down that route.
Sorry. Anyway.
My joke
guys-
was gonna be, well, we could try with 2.
Well, you guys enjoy your pie. It is delectable.
Karen is licking his hands, literally.
So then, you were naked and afraid, and you slept in the royal quarters.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Nat? Did you do the dirty with the Dragon Man?
It's those daggers.
No.
Okay.
It
I'm
feels
not
like
sure if you guys
Maria-
noticed.
It feels. It felt like Ria was trying to cast inevitable doom with you with her eyes.
Nat's like, no, Maria, getting tossed into a volcano for almost a week is not romantic.
You went in a
I don't know.
volcano as well.
No, he tossed me into a volcano
Wait, he tossed you into a
for a
volcano?
week.
Oh wow.
I
I
don't
was
know.
a little
That's,
surprised by that.
I don't know. That sounds like a euphemism, if you ask me.
No, he literally tossed me into a volcano.
How'd you survive?
Dix is staring at you guys. Hey, could you? If you guys are you guys gonna order another round or anything?
I am. Conrad raises his mug.
Yep.
I'm going to eat
Me
into my
too,
pie.
please.
Okay, that'll be another gold.
Arturo, you
Okay.
want to get this round?
How kind of you to volunteer other people. And he takes a gold.
Well, this is your story, so I imagine you have to pay for it.
Are you light in the purse?
I am, yes, Conrad says, as he sips his drink.
Agumon is sipping your drink.
Conrad just kind of like, he takes, like, Agumon, like, up with the drink, the cup, and then he, like, kind of, like, eats, drinks it anyway.
Okay. I don't think that's possible.
That isn't possible?
No.
He's like, okay, this is his drink. I need a new one.
Agumon, as you set the drink down, kind of like reaches back and hands you another piece of paper.
He looks at it.
It just says, dot 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 dot.
I feel like we're in educational times again, passing notes.
Question is, Agumon learning how to write?
Oh, you didn't see him right up.
That's why I'm questioning to everyone else.
I don't know, but, you know, he certainly knows how to drink.
And after there's a quick pause, he reaches over and pulls out another piece of paper and hands it towards you.
Looks at it.
There's a longer sigh with more dot 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 dots.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's a sin.
Would you kind
Size
of
makes sense. He kind of shows them.
He reaches
note
back.
everyone.
He reaches back another piece of paper and hands it towards you.
Looks at it.
Yes, it's me, idiot. I told you guys to let's go.
Oh, I thought it was later, Conrad says.
Agumon pulls back another piece of paper.
Looks at it.
Yeah, now it's later.
Okay. Guys, you want, you know, just take this as a road?
And then he holds out another piece of paper.
Looks at it.
And yes.
I think that means he wants one as well.
And
Okay.
then Agumon pulls out another piece of paper.
Looks at it.
Or no answer if you guys didn't ask what question I thought you guys were gonna ask.
We didn't ask any question. You just said yes.
I mean, I was going to ask if, I can't quite come up with a joke for this one.
And then you
You
look
really-
down and you see Agumon like sorting through other pieces of paper. As it looks like Sin pre-wrote a stack of responses.
We're just gonna pick up like 5 random bits of paper and just start reading them.
I wonder, I'm going to
Roll me
lean
a
into,
D20.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Raina?
I was going to say, I was going to lean into Agumon. I wonder if he has a response for this. Where does the blue monkey sleep?
He holds out a piece of paper
What does it say?
up your ass.
Yeah, that sounds like a sin response.
Yes, it does.
Also, I should have seen that coming. Of course he would write that.
And Rory, you see one piece of paper that says a baker's dozen.
Okay.
You see another piece of paper that says on the left. And then you see another piece of paper that says, no, really, I really did write these out beforehand.
Okay.
I'm glad that one was the last one, actually.
There's a reason why I ordered it in that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so clearly, what he wants us to do is go out, visit him on the left side of the, sorry, this is me stumbling, not Rena, High District.
And our Oasis, but yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
He also
He
wants a
wants a-
dozen bacons.
Oh, I was thinking we wanted a
Uh,
baker's dozen.
I don't think it counts if you pull it out, Rhea.
What do you mean if I
Uh,
pull it out?
Well, you pulled out the notes out of his bag, right?
Yeah, so he wants a baker's dozen of something. Or a dozen
Yeah,
bakers,
fine.
one of the two.
You were pulling
Okay.
him out instead of him. Like,
I-
Agumon needs to pull him out.
Alright, here, Agumon. And I'm going to grab the paper from Rhea, hand back. Hand this to us if you want some baker's dozen of, I don't know, baguettes.
He starts shifting through all the pieces of paper. Stops, stares at one, then keeps going. And he just shrugs his shoulders and he holds out a piece of paper.
What does this one say?
Hurry the fuck up, you assholes.
I told you guys, let's hurry up.
Okay.
Alright,
But
alright.
you're not
no
taking your
baguettes.
food everywhere, Conrad.
Can you repeat that? I didn't get that.
Actually, he is. There are a few bits in his beard.
Oh, right. Connor just kind of like, crumbs it up and eats it.
Huh. I was saying as a joke earlier, but I guess people do have beers to save food.
Anyway, come on, guys. Chop, chop.
I mean, okay.
Now, everyone give me an endurance check as you guys try to chug your beer that you guys just got.
Yeah, no, Conrad's going for it.
I'm just
You didn't
going
get a
to.
chance to get a second one yet. You could order one now if you want.
I'm just going to sip it until. I'm just going to sip it for a little bit, and then I'm going to say, "Hey, Agumon, here, you can finish this one."
Oh, I thought, what's called Nat got another round.
She did. Agumon drank yours.
Oh, okay. Well, no, never mind. In that case, Conrad's just gonna
Okay.
kind of hurry them up.
And
Is-
Raina, yes, Agumon does take it.
I
And then
imagine
burps
just.
very loudly.
I imagine just the steps on his toes, so his mouth opens wide like a trash can, just pours it down.
Kind of. I mean, you've seen Agumon, correct?
No, actually, not as like me, the person.
Hold up a second.
While you're doing that, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick.
What the fuck? That ain't him at all.
No.
No, it's not.
I was gonna say
I
that's for
know.
the wrong campaign.
And I know Agumon is the Digimon in like Digimon, but I am imagining the little potato with wings. I don't know why.
Do you see that?
Where is it? No, I don't. I don't see what you're talking about.
Give me a second.
Oh yeah, I have seen that. I just didn't think it was Agumon.
That's Agumon.
Ah. How do you drink with a beak?
It literally goes down his gullet.
Well, I mean, more the merrier. Now I just want to use his horns for a bottle opener.
I'm back.
Do you touch his horns?
I'm gonna say no, because this is Sins.
Okay. Okay, yeah. You guys finish your drinks.
All right, let's go. Conrad says he walks out the door.
Okay.
I mean, lead the way, why don't you?
And I just realized that something wasn't going. Yeah, sorry. There was supposed to be stuff already going.
Okay.
Okay. You guys step out into the streets of an oasis. There's a, kind of a light breeze rolling through here today. Nothing too crazy. So it's not too hot with the breeze coming through. You do notice that it seems pretty busy. Even for like an 11 a.m., there seems to be a little bit more traffic.
Does traffic seem to be heading anywhere?
All over, as per usual.
Fair enough.
You do notice that there's more tents being set up through here.
Okay.
Are they like market store tent type things, or like people living in tents?
Tents.
Okay.
Are there people going into the tents?
They're being set up.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Didn't misheard that. Yeah, I'll just take note of that as the useful.
Okay, where are you guys going? What path you guys taking? What direction? All that good stuff.
Conrad's gonna walk. My map's kind of acting funky. Yeah. God damn. Someone else do this real quick because my map's really fucked up.
What do you want me to do?
Hang on.
Well, where are you guys going?
Yeah, so
We're
hang
going
on.
this way. We're going this way.
I was suggesting like this way, going up, fuck, this way, and this way.
So what you're saying, like here to here to here?
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. As you guys get to about here, you guys notice that this entire section throughout here is a lot more packed with people.
Question.
Okay.
Oh,
It's
then.
like, can I do a look around just to see like what's going on? I don't know what, or if like people are talking about anything of what's happening.
Okay. By the gate, you see a lot more people coming in.
Mhm.
It seems to be a pretty good spread of people, merchants, commoners, things like that. You also do notice a few groupings here and there of drow, bugbears, hobgoblins, things like that. A lot of them seem to be dressed in similar armor. Miranda, you recognize this from your time at the palace, that these look like they're people from Bator.
Ah, apparently a caravan from Bator's going on.
That does remind me something of what Ron said during our training thing.
What was that?
Your Sultan was going to speak to like someone from Bator. I don't know what about, but she just mentioned it.
Oh, we should probably get that area wide berth then.
So you
I
guys
mean-
want to go around the new thoroughfare?
I could probably,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could probably guide you through a few back streets if you want. It's a little bit of a not being noticed.
I was gonna say, if
Yeah.
in regards to the drow in particular, can I take a look to see if any are recognized or from the picture I drew or anything?
No.
Oh.
They do not. I mean, they're draw.
Okay.
You do not recognize any of them.
Okay.
But the DM has to go tinker real quick. So give me like a minute, just a minute. Talk amongst
No
yourselves
worries.
as they're walking through the crowd and discussing stuff.
More so giving the crowd a wide berth, I imagine.
Oh yeah. But Carl say, yeah, we kind of had an encounter with someone from Bator. Let's just say it's not been our best interest.
Ah, well, in that case, I can easily guide you down the more, desolate streets.
Smart.
Also, with, Rhea,
Mhm.
how can I put this? In some of my training, actually all of you, I kind of visited you all.
Oh.
Yeah, some spiritual journey kind of thing. It's too much to explain. But,
You're speaking to a cleric of the Raven Queen. Spirit is kind of a thing.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Some spiritual journey, I don't understand it.
Okay.
As you guys, which way are you gonna go around?
I am going to, if I can, lead them through any passages, like back streets or whatever I can to least noticed.
A lot of the back street stuff is along the edges.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, going around that way or backtracking this way could be a little lengthy.
Well, Conrad, your call. Do you want to take a little bit of time, be stealthy, or do you just want to plow through the crowd?
Let's plow through the crowd, but without. Hang on 1 second, DM. So it's mainly around here that's like the main attention from Bator's, right?
There is a lot of people coming through the main thoroughfare.
Okay. But like,
This whole section right around here
yeah.
is pretty packed.
Okay, so
It seems to end going towards the iris though.
okay, yeah. So if anything, like kind of like a detour through the iris, kind of like this area.
You do
Or,
know
like,
it
wait,
looks.
where are we exactly right now?
You guys are by the gate.
So we're like right here.
We're
Okay,
just gonna
so in
like
that case,
poke on. It's like you
kind of
do.
like here
Yeah.
Okay.
and then up there.
Hold on a second, Conrad. You were breaking up hardcore, so drop out, drop back in. Rhea, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just gonna poke a combat to say, it's like you do realize it looks more suspicious, purposely avoiding people.
All right. If you want to blend in the crowd, that's fine. But we're kind of stand out. You know that, right?
Look at where we are, though.
Ah, there's nothing wrong with sneaking around. I used to do it all the time.
You still do it.
Alright.
That's-
All right, let's go then. We'll take the more direct route then.
You want to go this way then?
Yeah.
Or do you want to go sneak here and then go this way?
I will say, going by the Iris, the route she just did is not sneaking. It's just avoiding the crowd.
Well, I'll just go ahead and say like sneak through this area.
Yeah. See, this is kind of what I was thinking. Yeah.
So you guys want to go through that way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys proceed through there. You do notice there's not like a huge crowd around the Iris, but you guys do notice a pretty sizable amount of warriors, fighters, things like that. A lot of them look rough and gruff and very bad. It's easier than going through the main thoroughfare, but you're still kind of having to squeeze by people. Conrad,
Yes.
at one point you accidentally hit someone with your bow. Not like hit, it's just there's a lot of people and it's a huge weapon.
Hey, I'm walking here.
And kind of, yeah, as you kind of bump into the person, you don't even really notice it too much. You hear next to you, "Hey, watch where you're going."
My bad. Conrad walks away, and I'll make sure he has all his stuff still.
"Yeah, it's your bad. Get over here. Where are you going?"
I got stuff to do, man.
He immediately looks at the people following him. And he looks at you, Reyna, and you, Rhea, and you, Nat, and you just see a kind of sick smile come across his face as he kind of steps in front of you guys.
I'm just gonna like grab each of them on both sides and go poof, and just drag them away.
Okay.
And I will be using the encounter one for this one.
Oi. Okay, now I'm just gonna have to see if...
I was gonna say, if you
That's
want me
just
to roll
randomly.
a stealth or something to find a, I don't know, alley or something.
Oh no, this is more than that. Go ahead and give me a strength check, because you just did this without warning to your allies.
Okay.
It's more of a yoink.
Kind of, yeah, and they're not expecting it. As Nat and Reyna,
Darn
everything around you goes black. Okay. Yeah, you, lose slip of both Reyna and, Nat. And,
I tried.
Nat,
Wait, who
you
did
look-
Rhea?
she tried to grab both of you guys. You feel someone grab your arm momentarily and instinctively just kind of pull away from it. And Nat, you feel a large arm on your arm.
Can Nat roll strength or something to get out of it?
Yeah. Okay. You struggle. You almost slip out, but it kind of reclenches on your arm.
Hmm. Ow.
Maria, as you kind of move forward out of the cloud, you watch as a couple more of the guys start walking towards the cloud. Can
I see what's going-
large Goliath males.
Can I, like, see what, who's grabbing now?
Yeah, Nat's like, let's
Yeah.
go!
I just want to see, like, how far away it is and whatnot.
Also,
Because,
question: what happened to Reyna?
You're now in a cloud of darkness. You see nothing.
Yeah, I'm not
because,
grappled.
yeah.
No.
Because what I was
You
going,
feel someone grab your arm momentarily.
because what I was going to do, I just wanted to cast Inevitable Doom on the person holding Nat. Just like, karate chop him so they like let go, then grab hold of that and just get out.
Okay.
Wow. The funny thing is, like, Conrad just walked away, and you guys are doing this.
Yeah, Conrad, you notice as you've already walked like a good 60 feet away,
Mhm.
there's a commotion going on behind you. You look over your shoulder and you see a familiar poof of raven feathers, and you see Ruria looking back the way you came, and you see about 7 or 8 very large Goliath males starting to surround this cloud.
Can I do
God
something?
damn it, really? Conrad runs over.
Can I do something real quick?
Okay, Reyna.
Goliaths be scary.
I'm going to just say in the most Goliathy voice, "Hey, that's in here! Look, over there! They're running towards the iris! After them!"
Okay. Go ahead and just give me a generic charisma check.
Yeet.
Okay. Do you try to mimic the voice you heard?
I'm going for generic Goliath.
Okay. One of them, you guys watch as you hear a voice. You watch as one of them turns around, looks around, and looks right back towards the cloud. So, Rhea, you
Mhm.
hear behind you Conrad say that.
Yeah.
And you still want to go in with your plan?
Yes.
Okay. What's your range on Inevitable Doom?
I will have to touch him.
Okay. So you begin to move in.
Mhm.
As you begin to move in, one of the Goliaths are stepped out of the cloud, see you kind of advancing towards it at a quick pace, and kind of steps in your way. Are you doing this, love?
Yeah, that's my cloud. If you want another cloud, guys can just follow me. And you know, she's trying to entice him to get a distraction on her rather than on the cloud itself.
Okay. Two of the guys look over towards you. Oh, you want us to follow you? And Conrad, you see all of this.
Yeah, stop. Like, Ruria, calm the fuck down. What the fuck?
Hey, don't get jealous. It's all good. She's trying to do like a motion type thing.
I'm sorry for my friend's weird behavior here, Conrad says.
Yeah.
Alright,
Should go our way.
You back away. She's already made us an offer.
I'm just gonna
Offer
like
for what?
I'm gonna hold up the earring and whisper, just be like, just stick with the plan. Nat and Reyna are in the cloud.
What plan? Conrad
As
says.
you say that, you watch as Nat is being pulled out of the cloud. Nat, you can see. And you see a very large Goliath arm on your arm. And Reyna, you were still in a cloud of darkness.
I'm gonna walk out of the cloud.
Okay, roll a d4.
Sure.
Just see if you, Okay, and around the opposite end, you see Reyna walk out of the cloud of darkness. So you have a cloud of darkness, Reyna on one side, Nat is, or Rui is towards you, Conrad, and then Nat is on the opposite side of Reyna. So it's almost like, think of on a clock, with Conrad as kind of like the 6 o'clock, Rui is at 6 o'clock, Reyna's at 9 o'clock, and Nat is at 3 o'clock. And Nat is surrounded by Goliaths, and Rhea has 2 Goliaths standing in front of her.
See, I can make you like young pretty girls come out of thin air. Just follow me. I'll get you some more. It's all good.
Oh, what about it? Yeah, I mean, that sounds good.
See, why don't you get your friends to come along as well?
No, there's too much of a crowd. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Conrad?
She's just
Gesture to Reyna to like kind of come over.
Yep, I'm gonna hop over there.
Okay. Nat, you're surrounded by Goliaths.
Actually, quick question. How?
Nat's
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Nat's gonna activate the dread.
Okay.
Damn it.
And yeah, Nat, I'm gonna try and intimidate him and say, remove your hand or I'll melt it off.
Go give me an intimidation check.
33.
Oh wow, nice.
Nice.
The Goliath backs up, but one of them, the biggest of the group, kind of steps forward. He's like, "I like my women hot."
But
Is that a double entendre or something? No. Like a.
Okay, so top of the round order again. Conrad, what are you doing?
Guys, can we please just go? Conrad looks to Ruya and Naturia, and he has a very stern look on his face.
And the one that you originally bumped into, Conrad looks over at you. No, you didn't need to come over here and apologize.
I did apologize. I am sorry.
Doesn't sound like it. Maybe we'll just take your girls for compensation. Right, boys?
Trust me, you really don't want to do that.
wow, I'm offended that you think we're such low quality, Conrad.
No, it's
Conrad, you hear from a voice behind you.
Mhm.
Oh God! Of course you guys would be stuck over here. You guys can't even follow one simple fucking goddamn direction.
it's all Ruya's fault.
Hey, I didn't do nothing. I just got a
100%
smile.
your
So
fault.
how is it
Somehow
my
I believe that
fault?
as you guys look over and see a tiny little gnome hobbling through the crowd.
I really feel sad. She did not do nothing wrong.
I just want to as soon as we see the, do I see the gnome?
Yes.
I was gonna say to Goliath, by the way, you can't take us as like apologize. We're his. I just jab a thumb at the gnome.
Yeah. Okay. The two Goliaths by Ruria and the one that just was talking kind of look over. Oh, really? So we just gotta knock out this pipsqueak and they're ours? And the one by Uria walks past you, cracks his knuckles, and goes to raise a fist, and you guys watch as Sin just kind of sighs. He's like, meatheads, and he slams his staff on the ground, and you guys watch as a portal opens beneath the Goliath, and he just falls through it.
So you improved on that at least. That's pretty good.
And you watch as the rest of them kind of are startled back, take a step back. Hey, what'd you do with him? And Sin just kind of holds up his hand like 1 second, and then they pause for a moment, and then another portal opens up like 10 feet up in the air, and you hear, "Ah!" And you watch as the same Goliath lands on the ground, on fire, burning from acid, and there seems to be like some shadowy creature biting his arm.
That's
As the-
really sad.
As the shadow creature kind of recoils from the sun and just disappears. The guy gets up scrambling, like freaked out, really fucked up, like starts patting out the fire, and then all the Goliaths look some of them look kind of confused, some of them look scared, but the big one looks really pissed.
So who's next?
So, like I said, we're just looking to make our way out. Let's not let this escalate any further.
Big Goliath cracks his neck. Do you all know who I am?
Jeff.
Hefe.
Alright, just
I
like
think-
puts his face to his head, like, and hearing their responses.
Wait. I know who you are. A big, dumb mouth breather.
You see a
I
giant
high-five.
vein on his forehead almost pop. You curs! I stand tonight against the champion of the ring.
Then why are you wasting your energy here?
Figured it'd be a good warm-up, and he begins to take a step towards you all. At that moment, you guys see a very large hairy hand touch his shoulder. Let me see. By positioning, you guys can't see the people in front. Nat,
I'm
you
short.
see... Was that... You take this from a different perspective, so you can actually see the person. You guys are just a little too short to look over the Goliath. Sorry. Nat, you see a very large hairy creature that you saw during your Paragon training.
It's like, oh, it's him. She's like, yeah, she does remember that fight. She's like, oh.
This time he's not wearing the same like loincloth. Now he's wearing armor that looks very, very familiar. The rest of you guys watch as the Goliath looks at his arm. Oh, you what, mate? And he turns around and you watch as you hear a thunderous crack, and then the Goliath recoils as this large, hairy creature with these two horns coming out of the side of its head, not minotaur-like, almost like around the jaw, where the jaw interconnects,
Okay.
kind of coming out almost like weird tusks. And you watch as this entity just starts headbutting him over and over again as the guy recoils back, falls to the ground, clearly knocked out, and you watch as this creature gets over him and headbutts him like 4 or 5 more times. You hear the crunch of bone and just a spew of blood. And then you watch as the creature stands up and he's like, you wanted my belt so much? And he just takes off this belt over his shoulder, wraps around the guy's neck, and starts strangling with it. Holds it for a few moments. The guy's like fighting, like grasping at the belt, and he just goes limp, and the entity lets go.
I know who I'm putting my money on.
Well, that was. Wow.
Hey guys.
Kara just like looks up at this creature, just, hello?
He's waving at you guys. Sin's standing there with an eyebrow raised.
Hold on, let me take a wild guess. Did we go a round or two?
I was gonna say,
Can I roll an intelligence?
yeah, I was gonna say, is there a way that we can find out if that "hey guy" sounds familiar?
Go ahead and roll an intelligence check.
I was making an assumption.
I mean, I assume this thing sounds nothing like Daemonsaries, so.
Damn it.
It does not sound like Daemonsaries.
Yeah, so I'm not even gonna roll that. That's.
And the entity kind of scratches his chin a little bit and looks at you right now. I don't remember. And that, God, that shoulder pauldron, those pants, the red sash around his waist. Is that a hammer on his back?
Is that a
It's
what behind your
Daemonsaries.
back?
It's Daemonsaries.
Now it's like, damn, Sarah, and she's gonna run to him.
And he picks you up with one arm. Nah, you look different.
You look more different than me, and she's going for the hug.
Oh yeah.
Daemonsaries kind of like does a double take.
Wait a minute, you don't remember? We were in space!
He shrugs his shoulders. And you watch as he looks towards all of you guys. He's like, "Oh yeah, sorry." And he kind of shakes a little bit, and you guys watch as all the hair reverts on his body. The tusks kind of crump back into the skin, and you see Daemonsaries standing there. Longer beard, and a lot of his beard has been braided into these nice braids with beads on it.
Hey, Damon, I want to message you something real quick, but we'll continue on.
Okay.
was gonna say-
Apparently beards are in this season.
I was gonna say, Coma, you should get your beard braided like that.
I was actually playing Daemonsaries. That was wow. That was like a little dumbstruck.
And Daemonsaries looks at you, Connor, and then look at Sin, because Sin's beard has also grown. Not by much, just a little bit longer.
Careful, that drag on the ground.
And no, not that long. Like his is probably like 2 inches now. And he looks at both of you, kind of squinting eyes. Are you guys stealing my look?
Well, this kind of happened. Kara says, stroking the beard.
Makes you look wiser if it's anything.
Did you see my message, Damon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well then, can we go somewhere where we're not surrounded by knuckleheads? Excluding you, Daemonsaries. I like having you around.
Sure. What are you guys doing over here?
Nothing, just Ruya's.
Hey, that was not my fault. He smiled, it was creepy, I freaked out.
Yeah, I would think your training would train you to not do that anymore.
Hold on a second. Rhea, what's going on with you and Goliaths of all things?
It's, I don't know, they're scary. They put, they told you it was weird, it was strong, and yeah, I knew they had gnats, so I thought they'd try and get gnat free. It didn't work, so I am not the, the most, I know, flirtatious when it comes to living creatures, I guess.
I'm
You should have
worried.
thought that through, though, more than anything. Let's get going, guys. Kara just kind of ushers you guys off for.
I'm worried on the stipulation of living creatures.
I mean,
Oh, well, if we're gonna go, and Damasaris turns around, hey, Arden! Arden! And you guys watch as an elvish gentleman looks over. Yes, I quit! And you guys watch as Arden, the host and current owner of the Iris, goes, wait, what? As Damasaris looks towards you guys. Okay, you guys ready to go?
Yeah, Sin, why don't you lead the way here? Let's get it going. Kara's like looking at it. I assume is a large crowd looking around at us.
Yeah.
I'm just going to point over to the unconscious Goliath, like, don't worry, you have a replacement.
What? No! As Sin turns around, sighing, just Jesus Christ, and he starts.
No, Kara's doing mimicking the same motion, literally.
And he starts walking north.
it's
you
like
guys
things
continue
have never
through?
changed.
Clearly,
guys-
Kara says as they walk over.
You guys continue through. You guys walk to about here, and the crowd kind of breaks. Once you guys get towards here, you guys notice that the crowd is dying down by quite a bit. And once you
So,
guys
yeah.
break through that, Sin looks towards you guys. Ugh, God, it's super busy today.
Yeah,
What?
So, what do you guys want to do?
I thought you had plans, man.
Well, I mean, there's a couple options.
Well, one thing I kind of want to do is kind of maybe trim this a little bit, that kind of thing, Honestly, I've been in the wild for about a month, so I need a little bit of a makeover.
I'm not going to say you should trim it, but a little bit of stylization might be nice.
Well, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get rid of it. I actually,
I recommend
grown
the
up.
palace maids over there. They did a really good job.
well, it seems like the palace is busy from the looks of it.
Does
There's
it look
over.
busy?
There's a lot of stuff going on.
There might be hairdressers around here somewhere.
Wasn't there? Hang on one second.
Thing kind of raises his
Chicken.
hand. It's like, I do know of a spa we could go to.
Oh, what is it
Perfect.
called?
It is called the Divine Gate Spa.
Perfect. Maybe we'll get some bloodletting while we're there too.
Sounds good to me.
Sin raises his eyebrow. He's like, you know that it doesn't do anything, right?
I know, it's a joke.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you were humorous, or attempted to be. Okay.
I do whatever makes to make myself laugh. Others might join in.
He chuckles at that.
Kara does smile at that.
And he's like, well, I mean, yeah, if that's what you guys want to do. And Damasaur's like, is there gonna be booze? Sin just sighs and starts walking towards the upper district.
We can get
That's
booze a little bit afterwards, man. Like, how you been, man? Jesus, like, Kara like does like kind of a like bit of a bro hug with him. Like, how you been? It's been a while.
Oh, yeah. You know, I had to learn the secrets of my tribe and stuff.
So is that like one of the secrets? The whole, and then Kara like does the body, like kind of like a hand motion.
Yeah.
So was that what was the whole thing with when you were running off naked in Latest?
Yeah.
Any secrets you
Yeah.
want to share?
I don't know about. I mean, this thing goes. Jesus Christ! Hurry up, everyone!
God,
We
someone's
can
in
talk
a
and walk at
rush.
the same time. Sorry.
Sin can't. He's slow, so he has to devote everything to movement.
Sorry, that was funny.
Do you need to be carried, Sen?
And without even able to respond, you watch as Damasaurus takes a couple steps forward. Sin goes to turn around to say something and is immediately scooped up, and he starts squirming a little bit, like, God damn it. And Damasaurus just puts him on his shoulders.
Perfect. Now we can walk and talk.
I missed this.
Sin is just
Me too.
kind of grumpy, arms crossed.
Gang's
What is
all
it?
back together.
Yay! Sid says.
Hey, you love it, Sin.
So, question: does Sin have mounted combat now?
I guess you'll have to find out.
If we have another Cloud of Darkness situation, we'll probably will find out.
I do have one
Um,
more.
But or Sin using Daemisarius' ears as a, like a turn, basically guided you guys up through here.
He like jerks the ear like it does a turn signal.
Basically, like as you guys break through, like he tugs left, and then right. And then you guys get to about halfway through, and then you guys are led to this building right over here.
Okay.
It is a very large, kind of like, a lot of the other housings around here and establishments, they seem to be made out of like finely carved stonework. The out of this one seems to be a mix of like adobe and stonework.
Okay.
And as you guys begin to walk through the entranceway, you guys notice a very, very, very large marble and red painted gate. Do you guys know the Japanese tories?
No, I
Mhm.
do not know what that is.
The Japanese torii gates?
Oh, kind of like that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
think I know what you're talking about.
Kind of like
Kinda
the
designed
archery.
like that.
Yeah.
Like very Eastern style.
Oh, the
Okay,
ones
yeah.
that never fall.
Was that?
Aren't those the ones that survive earthquakes and stuff?
A lot of them, yeah. And you guys walk through and you notice that the front door is also designed with that same imagery. And as you guys enter through, the silence of the oasis and everything else is quieted. As as you guys walk in, it suddenly feels cooler. And it's almost like you guys stepped into forest. Immediately you're met with birds, other insects, things like that, as you guys enter into the space.
Oh, this is nice.
Is there a breeze?
Yes, there is.
Raina's going to take her hat off and like hold it to her side and just let her hair down.
You do so.
I was gonna say, what sounds can we hear apart from like insects? Is it mainly just insects and birds and stuff, or is there like anything else in the distance or something?
It's hard to tell. You guys are just getting into the space.
Mhm. Okay.
But seems like almost like you're in a forest.
Is there a counter or anything like that?
Yes. There is a nice wood carved counter as soon as you guys enter. To the right and left are hallways. And standing kind of like almost like in a guard position to the entryway of the two hallways, you see a lineup of male and female people all wearing kind of loose robes, very Eastern style in a way, but a little bit more open and flowy up on top. It almost seems to be a mix between kind of like think genie mixed in with like Eastern vibe. It's
Okay.
seems to be very unique. And at the counter you see an older elven lady who seems to be talking with a middle-aged human. Both of them are very well dressed. And she kind of giggles and says, "Of course, you come back next time and we'll take care of all your needs." And then she looks towards you. "Ah, guests, welcome, welcome to the Divine Gate Spa."
Hello.
Hello. Is this, I believe this is your first time here?
It is our first time here, yes.
Ah, then once again, welcome.
Is that my first time here?
Probably.
Hmm.
This is a little too haughty for your usual places.
Fair enough.
And she looks towards you, the rest of the group. "Well, welcome. When you step through our gate," as she gestures towards the entrance, "it is like you step beyond the divine gate into paradise. We don't just treat your body here, we treat your souls. And by the end of it, all your six senses will be cleansed." and she has this nice, soft smile on her face.
Trained souls, huh? We probably should have brought Jacques here.
Rue is deep in thought. Deep in thought.
Sin goes, wait, did you guys want Jacques here?
I think. Actually, I wouldn't. No, never mind.
I mean, is he available?
He's
you want
taking
here?
a nap at the moment. It's probably best to leave him be.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, I could be over there in just a jiffy.
I think what you said is he needs
Do you
rest
want to
from a certain
wake up a sleeping shark?
What's a jiffy?
I don't know.
Sin sighs, and you guys watch as he just poofs out of existence.
Oh, well, I guess you'll see him in a second.
His funeral.
And Damus Ayres looks at the elven lady. I think we're gonna need a minute. And she's like, oh, but of course. And she gestures over to the corner where there are like some kind of sofas, couches. Think almost like think of, you know, like the psychiatric, like kind of
Like the futon
Lounge.
kind of like lounge stuff. And
thing.
yeah, and there's a table, and she gestures, and then she claps her hands, and she says, Lily, Sanity, could you please get these guests some beverages? And you watch as a gnome and a tiefling female from the lineup step forward, kind of bow towards her, kind of politely. They disappear down the left hallway, and after a few moments, they come out with a few pitchers and some glasses. And they begin to hand you all a glass and pour you some cucumber water. And you guys have a nice drink in front of you.
Nice.
Can Shark actually be here? You know, Divine Gate and you know.
That's a
Well,
god.
I was just saying. Well, since he'd be here in a jiffy, I mean, I imagine he'd be here by now if Jacques agreed.
I don't know, how long is a jiffy?
It's
Um,
pretty quick.
Okay.
I think we'll find out how long a jiffy is. I mean, Sin said he'll be here in the amount of time a jiffy is. He did say just a jiffy, so we know a singular unit that he'll be in.
I guess we're gonna wait until that he comes.
Uri starts counting.
Okay. Give me an intelligence check.
Yeah,
I want to do that
And
as well.
a wisdom check.
yeah.
Just Ruya?
No, both of you, if you're going to be trying to count. Okay.
This makes sense.
Yeah. So, Rhea,
Mhm.
you count perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Reyna, you start counting like a champ. And then you start noticing, there, one of the males in the lineup, you kind of stare at him, kind of bestial look. Seems to be a shifter. He's pretty hot, and you completely lose track of your count.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Look
While
at those
they,
abs.
while they do that, now is looking at Damus here. It's like, oh, I caught one of your fights during the month. It's like, how long have you been champion for?
Oh, couple weeks. You know, I finished, traveling with my uncle. He had to head back, so, you know, I got back, talked to Dix, talk with, the old guy up at the palace.
Alcor or Kane?
Kane, yeah, Kane. And, he said you guys would be back, so I had to figure out something to do.
So, your uncle, where'd he go off to?
He left here. I think he went back home.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some stuff about, some stuff. I don't know, he really don't want to talk about it. Didn't want me to, get involved.
No worries, man. Like, no problem. I'm just glad you're back, man. I'm glad you're okay.
Oh, well, glad you guys are okay.
Cards kind of smiles at that. So, you were a champion of the Iris for what, 3 weeks? You said?
A couple.
Nice. Any cool fights?
Yeah, you know that troll that I got whooped by?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kicked its ass.
Nice.
Yeah, I kind of ripped its arms off and then beat him with them.
Wait,
Stop hitting yourself, Conrad says.
That's funny. I should have said that.
is that my troll or?
No, it's the troll that Demosaurus fought in the Iris.
Gotcha. I wasn't sure if name here was actually fighting the Iris for fun.
Nope. Grum detests the fighting arena because he finds it too boring.
Yeah, I'm just imagining arms going back and just tiny little hands on big torso.
You're getting another Grum image. Give me a hand.
No.
Yeah. Demosaurus kind of sips at his water, kind of pulls the cucumber out, sniffs it a few times, licks it, and then just eats it.
No, it's funny, Demosaurus. Apparently, you weren't the only person who got a hand from a troll.
He raises an eyebrow and looks very confused.
Even that's confused too. Like,
Yeah, Conrad also cocks an eyebrow.
I was joining some duties with Grom, and apparently phrasing does not go over well with him. When I said give me a hand, he gave me about
You guys
7
hear
or so.
very loud flapping of wings outside as you're finishing up the story.
It's pick up.
Yeah, hang on a second, Raina. What's that? Conrad looks around.
Question. Oh, sorry. Continue.
You watch as a average-sized lumbering figure walks into the shop. As the elven lady goes, "Oh, welcome!" And you see a very short person walk in. It is Jacques, all bundled up. He has his cloak all the way up, and he quickly looks over, raises an eye, pauses. Like he looks like when he enters, he kind of like snaps his head back and forth, like he's looking for something. There seems to be almost like an immediacy to what he's doing. Looks over, sees you all, raises an eyebrow, and looks back down at Sin, kind of just leering at him. And Sin comes in with a shit-eating grin on his face.
Oh, welcome back.
Yeah, I got him.
Question. What number did we get up to?
You got to, I don't know, like 2 minutes. No, it'd be about, no, close to 10. Even as the max fly speed.
Okay. So a jiffy is 10 minutes.
Well,
Good point of
what I
reference.
thought Conrad says.
Hello.
And you hear, like, just a low grumbling under Jacques' breath. I thought you said they were in trouble.
Well, being fair, because of this one, we almost swore Conrad like pointed at Ruya.
I did not do
But you're
nothing.
okay.
Conrad Conrad
I-
bumped into somebody, and then it kind of escalated into a thing.
Hang
See,
on.
it's
What
co-
I did was walk away and cloud of dark, and then really almost got to
They
a huge
they
fight.
didn't believe your apology.
Yeah.
I walked
And-
away. And
okay.
guess what? They didn't care. I
No.
was like 60 feet away from you guys by the time you guys did your whole thing.
You
be
guys
Okay.
are all arguing. Jacques just reaches underneath his cloak, pulls out the flask, and just starts having a few real...
Okay, Conrad, let me put it this way. When you have what is otherwise a grotesque, ugly female, I don't know what you go for these days, spider lady come towards you, do you, like, freak out and try to run away or hide? Or do you go there, be calm and polite about it and walk away nicely?
Yeah, but think about it.
No, tell
bumped
me,
into him.
what do you do?
Well, that's a completely different situation.
No, what do you do?
You attacked a dude almost
Davis-
for no reason.
I didn't
Demosaurus
attack,
raises
I
his
just...
hand. He goes, "Oh, I know. He'd probably fuck it."
Actually, yeah, that's a good
Leans
point.
over
That's
to
what I
Nick,
do.
like whispers, "Does he still do that?"
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like, yes.
Actually, recently.
Well, yesterday, but not with the spider lady, Conrad says.
I can't do it anymore. I'm a married woman. As Damasaris puts his hand over his heart and kind of looks towards the sky.
Oh,
Wait, what?
Congratulations,
Awesome.
Damasaris!
congrats.
Woman?
Yeah.
Who's your lucky person, Damasaris?
Well, it's a joke, cause you know, like, well, you guys remember Raquel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
how's she doing?
No.
Well, she
Orc lady.
her and her herd kind of ambushed me and my uncle. We were taken prisoners, and as we were tied up and stuff like that, I was kind of passed out drunk. I kind of came to, and when they were in their encampment, and I saw her. I was like, "Hey," and she was like, "Oh, that's my husband. Cut him down." And so then she told her father, and I had to fight some guys because apparently like that's how they do it, and I won. So now we're married apparently.
Oh, congrats.
I'm so
Right.
proud of you.
Is this something to be congratulating?
I mean, I
Yes.
guess that's what she told me. to
Congrats!
say.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, it sounded like the two of you were really hit it off after she kicked your ass.
I mean, do you
I-
enjoy being married?
I still don't even know what it really means.
It means it'll be the two of you together forever.
It means you'll never have sex again.
But
Well,
we're
with
not
someone
here
else.
together.
It means you're
Oh,
a
no,
one-lady man.
Oh, I can still do that.
Oh, oh, okay, I got you. Damasaris like does the fist. Conrad does the fist one. Damasaris, I got you with that, man.
He punches your arm. Since you put your arm up, I guess you take it.
Yeah, he did.
You suffer 6 points of damage as he cracks like your knuckles, like, and not in a good way either. Like that, you're like,
Oh!
fuck, like that's gonna hurt, because he still has
Where's
his
that-
pallets on.
Yep, that's where the Damasaris I remember Conrad says, like, trying to, like, hold his hand up.
To be
And
fair, to be
and
fair,
as
you
this is all-
literally asked for that.
And as you guys are all dealing with all this, the elven lady, excuse me, you are guests, correct? And Sin goes, oh yeah. And he begins walking up to the counter.
Yeah, guys, we should probably, for Conrad, probably holding up the space. Gets up.
I was gonna say, we was just gonna go over to Shock and be like, thank you.
Grumble, grumble.
Question, did he look away while she said that?
Slightly.
Knew it!
Can I do an insight if he's blushing or not? Or is he like
He's
hiding
undead, he
away?
doesn't blush.
Good point, good point.
The coagulated black blood flows to his face.
I pat. I pat as high as I can.
And are you guys approaching the counter with Sin?
Yes.
The elven lady looks towards you all. Okay, and again, welcome. Before we begin, I am Madame Mystique. I am the hostess and owner of this fine establishment. What services would you all would like to partake in today?
Well, it's one of them in the menu.
There's quite a wide menu. We have private and group accommodations. There's also a public group, which if you guys put a Ford on, it's a little less pricey, but it guarantees you the same bath services. Same services. It's just it's an open room with each of the group baths kind of divided. There are also private public baths also. If you would like to occupy one of those for yourselves and rent out the whole thing, it's going to cost a little bit more, or you can join in the other ones that are open. And there are private rooms as well.
Alright, so in above game speed, can you lay that out for me? What the options are?
Basically, there's a big room with a lot of different, like baths in it. And those ones are basically going to be, there's dividers between the groupings, but it's still public if you don't rent it out. Basically, if you don't pay the money up front to rent out that area, other people can just randomly go into your guys' bath area. Otherwise, it's kind of roped off.
Okay, I'm
then
thinking
there's also-
something private.
Hang on.
Private groups,
Sorry.
which that price point jumps up quite a bit. If you guys want to know prices for public use, it is 20 gold per person. For private rental, it is 20 gold for a person plus 1,000 gold up front.
Oh.
For a private room, that goes up to 500 gold per person. That's for a private group. If you guys want private, then it's 1,000 gold per person.
Oh, Sin, you took us to somewhere very expensive.
Yeah, don't you guys have money?
No, not that much.
Conrad doesn't.
And also, being fair, I got the last spa, so.
And
Let's
Damus
put
Aries
that up
goes,
there.
I gave all my winnings to my uncle.
I mean, I
Jock-
have
Jock
some.
goes, I spent all my money last night.
Really? On who?
He looks at Ruria's armor.
Fancy.
Sin just sighs and goes, Nat,
What?
do you have any money? Sin sighs. He's like, you guys, I'm adding it to the list. You guys owe me. And he looks towards her, and he says, okay, we'll rent one of the group publics. And she's like, oh, wonderful.
Can we? I'm just gonna pull Sin aside. How much would the difference be for to make that group private?
Like almost 2,000 gold.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Rury's gonna get like her gold bag and just like pass it over
That
to
will
Sin
do.
and just open it up. Just so we can
Sin
stick.
goes, just keep it. You guys will all just continue to owe me. As he
Okay.
reaches in and pulls out a bag out of his robe. He puts it on the table. You guys watch as platinum pours out. He goes, yeah, it just, how set are the dividers? And she's like, well, if you guys section off it, as you guys would like to get, the frontal area will be blocked off as well. So mostly it would just be sound going from room to room. And then Sin looks over towards you, Reina.
Shrugs. I mean, I don't mind your guys' gaze. I just, public.
Yeah, and Sin just looks towards the madam. She's like, yeah, we're all adventurers. Some of us have scars we're embarrassed about. She's like, oh, no need to worry. If you guys block off the area, just don't be too loud.
Yeah, that'll work fine.
And beverages, drinks, as she goes down the line for all of you guys.
Are we allowed to have alcohol?
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Whiskey.
Okay. And she looks over to you, Reina.
Blowjob.
I'm unfamiliar with that.
Oh, a coffee shanty with a bit of cream.
Okay, we could get one whipped up. You young lady? As she looks at you, Nat.
What's up? Got anything with fire in it?
A strong beverage then.
Yeah.
We can definitely accommodate. I believe we have some dwarven vintage around. And you, I love your hair. You must tell me who does it. As she looks towards you, Ruria.
It was one of the maids at the palace. They did a very nice job. But I will have a
He raises an eyebrow. Give me an insight.
yeah, shadow.
Okay, not bad. There's a flash of confusion followed by a hint of jealousy.
Nice.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's like I'll
It's the
have
fucking palace, okay? Like,
Hero goes, I'll just have a large tankard of ale. If you don't
and
mind.
you, my large-scale friend, or my scaled friend, I'm good, thank you. And you, my small little cutie, as she looks towards Sin, as he's the one with all the money. I'll just take, you know what, just keep some whiskey coming for the two of us. Of course. And she asks Damus Ares, and Damus Ares goes, "Just a big thing of ale." And then he pulls out his giant skull cup, and he's like, "Enough to fill this many times." And she's like, "Oh, okay. Well, drinks are included with the price. Since you guys are renting out the group room, would you care for some assistance?"
How do you mean?
And she gestures towards all the people that are standing to the sides of this chamber, all wearing the robes.
Oh,
Well, then that changes things.
They will assist you in any bathing. They are also all practitioners of massage. They can take care of many spa needs, pedicures, manicures. They are all very well trained and very respected.
Pedicures,
Uh,
manicures, happy endings.
I mean, everyone gets a happy ending when you visit the Divine Gate Spa.
is there
Insight.
anybody who specializes?
No insight needed. There was a brief moment of confusion. She has no fucking clue what you're talking about. This ain't one of those types of places right now.
I know.
It's actually like high class. Not the
Yeah.
scroll and tug ones that most other places have.
I feel like as the character's like, I hate these high class places.
Anyway, because a comrade asks, is there anyone that specializes in stylization? Comrade kind of gestures his beard and hair.
But of course, they're all well trained and versed in all forms of spa care.
Okay. What do you mind running down the selection for us?
Well, what we have available is what we have available. With a rented room, you can order up to 4 of them. And you see before you, a gnome female, a half-elf male, a tiefling female, a shifter female, and a shifter male. The shifter female and shifter male kind of look like they may be brothers and sisters.
I'm just going to lean into Conrad. Now, if you're not too picky, I wouldn't mind staring at that shifter over there. And I jab a thumb at the male. I'm like, I'm not going to get one for myself, but if you're hard pressed, I would. It'd be a fun thing to wash.
Sin sighs and he goes, "We'll take the 2 shifters, the tiefling, and Sin kind of looks over his shoulder, and the gnome. He says the gnome very kind of quietly under his breath, like, she's like, "Oh, wonderful. Lily, Danity, Rain, Retsu, please do accommodate these fine guests to their accommodations. Drinks will be with you shortly. Have a wonderful time." And as the gnome, the shifters, and the tiefling step forward, they all gesture towards down one of the hallways.
Follows.
Okay.
Follows.
And as you guys are making your way down this hallway, we're gonna go ahead and take a 10-minute break.
Hey,
Break time, yay!
break time.
I'm gonna go shove my face with asparagus.
Also, I want to point out this place is significantly more priced out than the Heroes Rest.
It's all good.
That was a bargain.
Oh, I think Hero's Rest is you have to be a hero to enter.
Oh yeah. But that's what I'm saying though. It was like a bargain for the price, 100 gold for all that stuff.
This whole time, Ray is just thinking, I would rather be either at the palace or Dick's right now.
Be right back.
Yep, I'll do the same.
I'm gonna forever maintain Maria's innocence on that whole thing.
all alone? Oh God, am I all alone? Ah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Sadly.
What do you mean, sadly? Fine, fuck you too.
Eh? Eh?
You guys are enjoying the Divine Gate Spa.
Going great so far. Really great.
Is it nice to have the group back together?
Yeah, it is. Though Conrad's changes are certainly interesting.
Yeah, you guys have all had some changes. Demeter has had a few. And
Like a
now he
lot.
turns into a beast.
Didn't even recognize him.
Yeah.
So technically, whose fault was it for that incident? Was it Conrad? Technically, it was Conrad's fault, or was?
I mean, I'm pretty sure those guys were just probably being assholes.
Yeah, probably.
People tend to talk big when they have a big shot within the group. Also, they had no fucking clue who you guys were.
I thought the intimidation thing was gonna work. Then that guy.
It did.
No, that one guy.
Yeah.
Get it hot. That guy.
Yeah.
I was like, crap.
There we go.
It's funny because that was going to be a fight. I'm now scrapping the notes because he's in no condition to fight.
Could have fought the minions.
No, that was supposed to be a fight later that evening. Remember, he said he was challenging him for the championship. Not anymore.
Oh yeah, he pretty much lost that.
I mean, he got his belt.
Query Dimmer, my new armor thingy. Guessing with the stuff I saw on the couch sheet, is it heavy armor now? Or medium? I don't know. I'm guessing that's the reason, I don't know.
It is hide.
I don't know what that means apart from it's a type of
Hide armor?
material.
It's just hide armor. That's what it is.
Yeah, but what's pied armor classed as?
I think it's one of the lighter ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a lighter armor with has penalties with it, but it has a high. Yeah, you see.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually recognized it as soon as you said hide was on it. I was like, okay, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And someone wanted to make sure that you're safe.
Yay.
Aww.
Someone wanted to make sure I murder people.
Again,
Different priorities.
I point out there's a soft nugget in Shark, you just gotta find it. And there it is.
I saw it, and it's adorable.
Uh-huh.
I mean, who do you think also enchanted your stuff, Nat?
Nah.
I mean, I was about to say, yeah.
I suspected Greta for a tiny moment. Like,
Well, she probably snuck your stuff out. Kind of like, put it out by the support stuff. Here it is. And then, Sean took it.
Well, you gotta remember, like, he's already asked her to do stuff for him before, and she's done it.
Exactly.
Also, he can be really sneaky if he needs to be.
Let's hope that's not what I think it is.
I mean, he did sneak into the test.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know
Okay,
where he was
let's-
going with that conversation, Comrade.
You just really.
By the way,
That's it.
I am loving that Demeter was a champion of the NO race for 3 weeks, and we didn't notice. I mean, I noticed like it when Nat went to see the competition, but after that, I didn't notice it.
I didn't even see it was Demeter's. Just some, Harry
Well, actually, to be fair, I got the idea from Maria.
Yeah, I had a theory about her.
Why? Because the description of the tusks and stuff like that matched the incident.
Yep.
Yep.
See,
I told you guys.
I
do this all the time.
remembered something. People should be proud.
I am super proud.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even sarcastic proud. That was like a real legit. Like I'm actually proud and surprised.
I actually have a theory on who the invisible opponent was.
Invisible what?
Opponent, the guy who faced off against the emissaries, and that was his name.
Huh?
You didn't get that?
You'd.
No, I thought you said invisible opponent.
Yeah, he faced an invisible opponent, didn't he?
He fought like a beast.
Oh, okay. I thought the emissaries was the beast. My bad.
Sort of. It was kind of a beast on beast.
Oh, okay. Must have. Wow, must have really misheard that.
I think so. Honestly, I'd have to go check my notes again. I can't remember everything, guys. You know how much shit I had to do that week?
Oh no worries. No worries.
I was so rattled. Oh, there's so much D&D.
I don't know. I still go for D&D every day, but you know that's just me.
Yeah, you go ahead and DM doggos every single day.
It is. That would be torturous.
I would
Not
if
for
I.
me, I'll say. It would be for you.
Yeah, because I'm the one that has to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I might not, I'll be right back.
It's a very generously long 10-minute break.
Has it been 10 minutes? I lost
Yeah.
count. Oh.
You can only count while Jacques was away.
Yeah, I'm distracted now.
Good thing you didn't spill. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. Just waiting on Conrad.
Okay. I swear I'm getting slower in my old age. Yeah, I'm not old yet.
Yeah, trust me, it gets worse.
I was gonna say, aren't you like the youngest one in the group?
Yes, but my back is that of a 70-year-old.
Don't worry. it
Oh,
gets
I thought that
worse.
was yours. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love me. I thought the asparagus she put aside was hers, but it's mine. I have asparagus. Are you jealous?
No. Is it cooked?
Yeah.
Then definitely no.
Why?
I don't like cooked veggies.
Nah. See,
Alright, I'm all ready.
so you just put the asparagus in with a healthy portion of olive oil, a small amount of garlic, and a sprinkling of salt and pepper. So
Okay.
good. And it is diabetic friendly.
Yay!
Another note that I forgot to mention and Nat forgot to mention, her stockings are gone. She's just wearing the dress now.
Yeah,
I
looks
thought
like,
he was
yeah, I guess he looks like she's showing more leg, I suppose.
Yeah.
I thought he was about to say that Nat's now diabetic. I got really confused for a minute there.
Okay, so everyone done? Ready? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I'm eating, but okay.
As you guys are led down the hallway, eventually you guys are led to a very large chamber. And immediately you get hit with like different scents of lavender, essential oils, things like that. There's incense in the air. Very, very pleasant. In the chamber of the room, from head to floor, all of it, it no longer looks like you're inside. As there seems to be a gigantic in-motion mural of a forest, with a few cherry blossoms scattered around in different places in the artwork. Looking up at the ceiling, there are no torches in this chamber. You see crystals kind of embedded at 4 corners across the room, a larger one in the center, and they all seem to be giving light. And from as you first enter, you notice that the 4 crystals on the corner seem to be projecting the imagery onto the walls and ceiling.
Interesting.
Quite,
Carrots.
quite fancy thing you got here.
The tiefling woman says, "Yes, our madam wants to ensure that everyone's visit is pleasant on all senses." And you guys are led to, there seems to be 6 large baths in here. You guys are brought to the left and first row one.
Okay.
You guys are brought in there. You guys notice there is a large circular, almost oval bath. On one side of the walls, you guys see little faucets with buckets and little stools, almost kind of like a Japanese style kind of showering system.
Mhm.
Against the back wall, you guys see what appears to be masseuse tables. And on the right, you see some chairs and stuff, basically almost like a salon chair. And on the front side, there are kind of more of those kind of lounge chairs. And as you guys enter into the area, you watch as they start pulling on both sides of the walls that surround this. I can't remember what they're called. You know the doors that kind of fold and they're kind of slidey?
Yeah.
Kind of like
The
those.
privacy medians or whatever they
Yeah,
are.
like that. And they start pulling them closed.
Okay.
Now, question:
Answer.
Are these rice paper privacy medians?
No. They are carved wood, with rice paper.
Okay.
Okay.
It's
interesting.
like thick carved, and then like the center part is kind of like the rice paper with artwork on all of them. A lot
That's
of
what
them
it's measuring.
floral, but very Eastern style,
Gotcha.
with hints of almost an Arabic.
Cool.
And as soon as that happens, you guys look over at Damus Ares, who starts going to walk towards the pool, start taking off his clothes, and you watch as the tiefling woman, if you would, sir, we do have customaries in this bath. And he goes, "Oh," as he drops his pauldron to the ground. Ding.
What's the customary then, ma'am?
Oh, well, first, it is customary to first bathe yourself off in over here, as she gestures to the showers to the left.
Okay. Is there an area where we can put all our stuff, Kyron?
Of course. And she walks over to the corner and she pulls out these wicker baskets. If you would, there should be one for each of you. If not, we can grab more. Please just bring all of your clothing and stuff in here, and we will have it all washed during your stay.
Okay. Conrad starts taking off his stuff and puts it in the back.
Okay. Damus Ares and Sin starts to do the same. Jacques begrudgingly walks over. Rui, what are you doing?
I'm gonna say, is Chakra getting his stuff all off as well? Or did you just begrudgingly walking over?
What are you doing?
Because I was gonna follow suit if like everyone starts doing it, then she was gonna do it as well.
Okay, Nat, what are you doing?
Yeah, she's gonna just start putting her stuff in those baskets.
Okay.
She's like, the realization is kind of like hitting her. Like,
Okay. And all of you guys, as you guys get to, as those are getting undressed, get undressed. As you guys are getting down to your final layers, one of the attendees hands you a large bath towel.
Thank you. Conrad says and takes it.
Thank you.
Reina, are you following suit as well?
Oh, excuse me. Yes, I might as well.
Rhea, everyone but you is doing it. And
Yep.
Jock is standing there. So
Yeah, I'm following Sue.
as soon as you start going, Jacques' sighs, rumbles a little bit, and then he starts proceeding as well.
No.
As whenever Jacques is down to his more skivvies, Raina is just going to go, I remember seeing a scene quite like this in the last Hero's Rest.
You get daggers stared at you by two separate set of eyes.
Conrad rolls his eyes as he hears that.
Oh, it is a compliment.
And Jacques does not take the towel. He just walks over towards the bathing area.
Look at you. You got a nudist on your hands.
I'll take like Jacques' towel and just wrap it around my arms. I'll wear my own towel.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm taking my towel and putting it over my shoulder.
Okay. You guys bathe in the shower area. It's nice. And as you guys kind of get wet and start, first start bathing, the attendees begin to walk up and individually ask you guys if you would like for them to scrub your back.
Sure, Conrad says.
And says, yes, please.
Rhea? Reina?
Ruri's gonna
What are
like.
you-
Oh, sorry.
No, go first. You go first. I was about to say you go first.
Okay. No, Ruri's just gonna look over to Jacques and she'll be like, "Oh no, I'm okay." And she's still like looking over at Jacques. Type of thing.
Okay. Jacques is just kind of staring at the floor. He doesn't seem too happy in the current situation.
How could this happen to me?
How could
Kind
this
of-
happen to me?
Ruri's gonna like go over, like use a towel and just like gently rub. Like. rub.
And the attendee asks him if he would like his back scrubbed. And he kind of looks over at you for a moment. And he goes, no, we're taken care of. But she continues and assists all of you guys. Sten gets the gnome to scrub his back. Just because it's size appropriate. And after that, as you guys are getting your back scrubbed, Jacques leans over towards you, Rhea, and he goes, would you like your back scrubbed?
She nods.
Oh,
And begins to scrub your back.
Oh.
Screeches real good.
Yeah.
And then he dumps the water on you. Chuckles as you have like a semi-wet rat look as all your hair just kind of plops to the front side. Not the shaven side, just like
Yeah. I prop water. Yeah.
you guys get a good scrub down. It's nice and awesome and clean. And once you guys finish rinsing off, the tiefling woman goes, and now, if you would like, it's a good to get a nice soaking in before moving on to other festivities while we gather your drinks.
Okay, sounds good.
Mhm.
perfect.
And
Thanks.
then she looks over towards the shifter female. She says, wait here. If they need anything, please provide service. And the shifter nods and the other three walk out. The shifter is kind of standing by the entranceway, just kind of like staring off at the opposite wall. She's not looking at you guys. She's not paying attention whatsoever. She's there, but not there.
Understandable. So, the big bath area, that's the soaking area, right?
Sure.
Excuse me, is this the area of where we soak in? Conrad points to the bath.
She looks over at you and she just silently nods.
Alright, well, let's get in, guys.
Perhaps you could, wait outside, ma'am. If that's available.
Of course.
Yes.
We shall knock before re-entering. And she nods and exits out.
Thank you very much. And with that, I'm going to ease myself. And just for confirmation, there's no visible anyone else can see except for the party.
Not that you can tell.
I would like to give a quick investigation if I could.
Sure, go ahead and roll it.
Do I see Raina kind of giving looks?
Yes, you do. And it's
Right.
investigation.
Raina, maybe it's just best to stay as you are now. We are still in a public area.
I mean, that's true.
I know you want to be comfortable. I'm just saying, for now, just
Damage
no.
there says nonsense as he goes in the water. As he goes in, he starts shifting, growing from 7 foot, 7'8", 7'9", 10, 12, as he takes on his more animalistic bestial form and just kind of gets in the water and nuzzles on. He's like, oh, they got seats in here.
I mean-
Power chuckles.
Yeah.
So wait, it's a perception. It is.
Yep.
Okay.
You go around, and apart from a few slight cracks on the front folding doors, the rest of it seems pretty solid.
Yeah. Well. Even with these cracks, I think best to stay as I am. Yes, Conrad. I know the stay as I am, but more so trying to be more observant.
Sin goes, I wouldn't worry about it. They're already harboring some people here anyways.
Oh, up to you. And Kara gets in the bath.
I have a feeling they're keeping secrets regardless, so I'm sure they can keep yours.
I don't doubt that, but I am going to ease myself in.
As Sin looks over at Nat, like, did you notice the magic coming off that gnome?
Did she? I doubt she was paying attention. So.
You weren't trying to detect magic.
Yeah, and I was like,
Yeah, I think I know what she is.
Ooh, do tell. Nat also gets in.
Well, I mean, according to my studies, I mean, she smelled of fur, and I mean, she is literally magical. I read notes about, certain type of race living, in certain, as he looks towards, like, the stylization of the room. Interesting cultures. I believe they're pronounced Hangyokai, and he kind of says it kind of softer.
Ooh.
So if they're harboring a few of those, I don't think you got anything to worry about.
I don't doubt that, but at the same time, I am going to go under the water and just, stretching, just as a changeling.
Yeah.
Just stretching and resting my muscles.
Jacques enters in and offers a hand to you, Ruria.
Yeah, I get in.
He sits down on the edge part and kind of guides you towards him.
Mm-hmm. I just fursuit. I'm just get like comfy. Like,
So is everyone in the water?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
Everyone with
See.
initiative.
Water weird.
As you guys are sitting like up against like the little bench area and kind of just relaxing a little bit, you feel something start to cover you and crawl against you.
Can we look at what that is?
Sure. There seems to be some gelatinous, oozy substance
Gelatinous
forming
cute.
around your back. and
Question.
around your arm.
Is it the same feeling that Maria got in the bathtub?
Yes.
You see Maria just happy, just dark happy. It's like, don't worry guys, this is good, this is gonna be amazing. And she just like falls on, relaxes. Like
Nat
she,
just like gives a look to Kyra like, eh?
Am I familiar with
guess.
this?
Was that?
Am I familiar with this?
Go ahead and give me a history check, because this is something kind of specific. Ooh.
14.
Yeah, no.
I was like, trust me guys, this is amazing. Just relax.
Okay.
It's good.
As you guys like, it's even lifting you off the bench. It almost feels like you're free floating, but without having to struggle to stay afloat. It's almost like forming around you as almost like a lounge chair, and you can feel the ooze kind of go across your skin, and as it passes over, like there's just like a fresh as a baby bottom feel goes afterwards. Like it just feels like there's like a slight tingling sensation, nothing painful. It's actually kind of relaxing and nice as it passes over.
This is
And
nice.
as it passes it over, you kind of lift your hand out of the water or whatever, and you look at it, and it seems to have taken like the very top layer of your skin right off.
Oh.
It's basically like a giant exfoliation, but not so rough. And Zing goes, "Oh, I've heard about these.
What is it exactly?
Well, they're kind of magic, arcane, altered, gelatinous cube ooze kind of stuff. That it's basically they're kind of manipulated in a way to kind of just eat what's not necessary.
Basically, it's the best bath ever.
So instead of a gelatinous cube, it's a gelatinous masseuse?
I mean, it's not really massaging, but goddamn, it feels good." As Sin just kind of shrugs and just
I mean, it's-
Yeah.
nuzzles
Yeah.
in.
I was like, ooh, it does.
This is the most relaxed I've felt in quite literally a month. Well, probably a little over 2 months. Princess Chuckles.
Question:
And you guys,
how many days has it been since her bath?
like, I'm trying to
4 hours.
think. A day or two.
This is the most relaxed I've been in about 2 days.
And at this moment, you guys hear a light knocking at the door.
Go back to guard Reyna.
Come in.
As you guys watch as the door opens, the first two people are shifters carrying trays of various cups, one for each of you, minus one. Following that, you see a very large man, not previous with your group, wheeling in a wheelbarrow with a keg in it. And behind them is the tiefling and the gnomish females, and they are carrying in bottles of what appear to be liquor. And on one of the trays, they gently give it over to you, Reyna, is your coffee.
Coffee liqueur with cream?
Yes, and it has like the little flowery design with the creamer on the top.
I'm gonna sip on that.
And Damus Ares gets excited, kind of plops out of the water and goes over towards the booze. They set everything down. They start handing you cups, and they say, "Would you like services with the drinks, or shall we leave? We were told you wanted privacy."
What kind of services would that be? Such as a massage or?
We could offer that while you bathe.
At some point, I'll need to get a haircut and a little beard trimming, but I'm good for now.
As one of those services, can we just have and I just point a finger at the male shifter. Could you just stay a while? Sit there, be pretty.
Yes, I can.
Yeah,
And he
that's
just
all I
goes
ask.
over to one of the lounge chairs, just sits down, and just kind of poses for you.
I'm doing my job.
What pose does he take?
I don't know.
Finger
I'm
maybe?
just joking.
JoJo poses.
Kind of paint me like your French girl kind of pose.
Perfect.
He's
There you
kind of flexing a little bit for you. And the tiefling woman kind of kneels down next to you, Reyna, and begins to massage your shoulders.
Well, this is pretty nice.
And the other attendees begin to pour you guys all your respective drinks. Damus Ares gets really happy as they open up the keg, and he's able to fill up his mug, and he quickly goes back to the bath, sits down, splashing a little bit, as he kind of sits down, getting all giddy as he has his mug full of booze.
Yeah, Nat's getting happy too as she's getting hers.
Yeah, Nat, your drink is strong. It reminds you of a certain drink you had a while ago with the two dwarfs.
But she does drink it.
Okay. And you guys continue to soak and bathe. Raina, you have a wonderful massage. The bath is your guys'.
Just for my own sake of sanity, can I get a perception or something just to make sure I don't find a new dot on my neck?
Huh?
Remember with Sin in the test, just a bit of anxious about having a repeat offense, so it's kind of
Okay, have
being
you
a
ever
bit
tried to
aware.
look at your own neck before?
No, more so it's like what paying attention where the masseuse is rubbing.
Give me a wisdom check.
Oh, okay.
Because this is going to be more how much can you resist a soaking bath, a hot shifter lounging around flexing for you, and a massage.
19 on the die.
Okay. You keep your, wits about you, but after a few moments of that, the tiefling woman does go, you should relax if you're going to get a massage.
Ah, sorry, hazard of the job.
And Sin also gets a massage by the gnome.
I was just gonna look over to Shark and like, you relaxing pretty good? I did tell them you was asleep.
He kind of leans in, he's like, it's not the worst thing that's happened.
They're so good.
Guy was enjoying his drink while we all kind of sit down.
Oh
and
yeah. That's bad boy. Rose got drinks. She's gonna enjoy hers as well.
After a moment, Raina will kind of ease up and relax.
After a few moments, Sin goes to speak up. He's like, what have you guys been up to?
surviving in the desert for about a month with just a dagger.
Okay, I mean, you care to elaborate more than that?
Yeah, no. So what happened was, apparently, like I woke up with a the dart in my neck. You know, like that one area behind the Sultan's palace, that like one little like small oasis area.
Sin shrugs his shoulders.
Well,
Where we keep the beasts.
yeah, exactly.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So
Sir
I
goes,
woke up
I
there.
know.
It was kind of like this, think about like a zoo-ish area. There's a bunch of animals, some dangerous, some not, that kind of stuff. So I woke up there.
Ares raises his hand.
Yes.
What's a zoo?
Think about it as a place where people keep animals so they can watch them.
That sounds really boring.
Oh, it is. Trust.
As he continues to drink his drink.
Anyway, so I woke up there with a dart in my neck and nothing on. I mean, literally nothing. Guy just kind of poisoned himself. And basically, it was booby-trapped to hell. Like I couldn't leave. Any kind of obvious resources were booby-trapped as well. Eventually found my dagger, and I just kind of survived out there on my own. The first day was the hardest. Like I was kind of rubs his hair. I was kind of overthinking things and just kind of worrying too much. Eventually, I got the hang of it, and Raimi was just kind of, for lack of a better word, just watching without watching. Eventually, I learned some new skills, and yeah.
You didn't see any other people there?
No, I saw the Andali. Damn it, sirs, do you know who the Andali are? I'm gonna assume no. So, they were a part of this parade that came around a while back. They look like, Connor puts in that, look like her, but they have blue hair.
Oh, those people. Yeah, they came to watch one of my fights.
They did, yeah.
Yeah. They wanted to see me after the fight. Apparently they don't really have like gladiatorial stuff, so they wanted to see the fighters up close.
Nice. Well, they were kind of oogling me, like them and a couple other attendants like got chairs and watched me. At one point, the Jane Empress came around and watched.
Oof.
But yeah, it happened for a while. Eventually, I was all kind of painted up. Conrad says like it was part of a ritual thing. Yeah, a lot more stuff happened after that. Conrad said.
Demeter is like, what? And what new skills did you learn?
Yeah, 1 second. Typing something up. So, I learned to cut something in half with my arrows. For one.
Demeter raises his eyebrow. He's like, then he pulls up his finger, then he pulls up his hand, and he like pokes his hand with his finger a few times. He's like, how the fuck do you do that?
By firing something so quickly in such quick succession, it essentially breaks it in half, like slice almost.
Demeter kind of yells out, hey, attendee people, do you guys have any fruit? Yes, one moment. As, the shifter female goes and disappears. And literally not even a minute later, she returns with a melon of subtype. And Damasaries kind of gets out of the bath. He's like, ooh, show me, show me.
I would need my gear for that, Carmen.
He runs over and grabs your bow. Quiver.
Question, Carmen looks at the attendee. Is it okay if I do a little demonstration with my friend?
I'm just... And the tiefling speaks up. She's like, but of course, but any damages you'd have to pay for.
Yeah.
Sin, is that okay? Carmen looks at him.
Sin is just kind of like melting. This is the weirdest look you've ever seen on Sin's face because he seems happy.
Mm-hmm.
Your
He's
face
like,
doesn't
yeah,
do
just whatever.
Yeah, Conrad's just like, yeah, like, just don't break anything. That's it.
that. If you break something, I think Sin's gonna make you pay for it.
Well, it sounds like Sin's agreeable at this moment, so he'll pay for it. Right, Sin?
And, yeah, why not?
Alright, awesome. Conrad gets his bow and
Dave Mysterious holds the melon in front of him.
okay. You trust me now, emissaries?
Why wouldn't I?
That's a good
No worries.
question.
Then. And Conrad essentially tries to repeat the same thing.
Okay, so what are you doing?
I'm gonna try to do that thing where I fire in such quick succession. I would do.
Twin strike and a action point.
That's what I was actually thinking exactly.
Yep.
So hang on. And let me do a range basic attack, I believe.
Yep.
Where are you? Oh, that's right, it's green.
Okay. You guys watch as Conrad does not line up 3 arrows to shoot. He goes, boo, 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 like just in quick succession, like one immediately after the other. Like you've never seen Conrad shoot this fast. And each of them hit the cantaloupe almost at the same time, cleaving it in half. As 2 of the arrows get stuck in Damus Arias' chest and arm.
Ooh, sorry, buddy.
That was cool. And he starts, without even messing with the arrows, he's still in his animal form. He just starts eating the cantaloupe.
That's like, woo! Just like that.
He picks up the other half and starts eating that one as well. So he has 2 halves of a cantaloupe in his hand, and he's just eating it.
Okay, Conrad puts the bow back. So eventually that's why I learned it.
A real Robin Hood, aren't you?
Who's Robin Hood?
Oh no, it's just slang for when a rogue or something, or someone with a bow, goes out and robs the hood.
Okay.
I
What?
think I saw that play once, Sin says.
Okay, I didn't know it was a play. Not too cultured either way, though.
And Damasaris gets in the bath with the 2 arrows still stuck in him as he's enjoying his cantaloupe.
You want to get rid of those there, but
He kind of
Crap, what's
brushes
this?
them
There.
off and he flings them outside the bath.
okay, there we go.
You didn't actually like. He's not bleeding or anything like that. They just kind of stuck in his fur and thick skin.
Just stuck in the hide.
Kind of.
Yeah, so there was also another part. So what happened was Raimi did this weird ritual thing. I was kind of like painted in all this ritualistic paint and made to ingest something. And what happened there was I was kind of transported to this one weird area. Like, imagine an area where everything was so huge, like even the basic animal life was the size of a car. Well, no, sorry, that was size of a carriage. That was a bit of a slip on my part. Like I saw, like a centipede the size of a couple carriages. And I was thrust in that area. I saw like what looked like some sort of, for lack of a better word, bony rat thing that like just seemed huge. Fight off the centipede and eat it, and then it saw it at me. It leapt for me. I tried to shoot it. Stuff just bounced off, like no effect. And I just, Kyron just says like, he has like a pause for a second. It's kind of like a weird fight or flight moment. And I just went Devlin charged at it, and something just kicked it out of the way.
And Damasaris kind of mouth full, kind of like, "Oh, I used to have that nightmare all the time."
Actually, the adversaries, I'm curious if you ever heard of this kind of creature, and Kyron describes the entity.
He thinks about it for like a good minute. No. No, I've never heard of anything like that. How big was it? And you tell him, and he's like, "Oh, definitely not."
Sin?
You guys get the gesture of how Conrad is describing it. This entity or creature was the size of the massive, like a huge mansion, like a good 100 and some feet long and a good 75-ish feet tall, maybe bigger. Actually, wait, let me think. I don't know the exact measurements. Yeah, it's fucking big, like Godzilla size big. And Sin goes, "Nah, never heard of it."
Well, whatever it was, it could speak telepathically to me, and asked who I was, and it said, oh, this is Raimi's doing, and like it kind of like gave me something. I was like immediately transported back to deliver a message to Raimi, and I essentially roared. That was just kind of shook the whole area. And then I just walked back to Dick's.
Yeah, I used to have that nightmare all the time. As he continues eating his cantaloupe.
Kyron smiles.
So scary. I mean, just think about it. A world where you're small. Ugh.
Yeah.
What a shame.
So how about you guys? Tell me about your stuff.
Who wants to go first?
Sin raises his hands. He's like, "I read a lot of books," and then he puts his hand down.
Any of them good books?
Every book is a good book.
I saw
Even
that
those
book
romantic
pile.
novels. That smiles.
I mean, Tough Love is pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
He's like, "Never mind. I spoke too soon. The bath threw me off a bit. Not all books are good."
But I think some books could be made good.
I was gonna say, I did see you reading those books. They're pretty good. Well, at least I think they were good. I didn't understand much.
Sin raises an eyebrow and opens up his eyes and looks at you. "When did you see me?"
In the library, when you was with Alco, you did the portal thing, and then vroomp. Oh yeah, you did a good job on that, by the way.
Huh? This thing kind of like makes the gnome stop for a moment.
Do you recall a? Hmm?
Start from the beginning. Apparently, you volunteered.
See, I went down to see. Well, and she kept saying to like, let it go, and I was like, okay.
No. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Anyway,
I will start deducting experience, and you guys are all in the freshman 11.
okay.
Start singing that song, and you guys are going back down to 10.
Okay. I will high five Rainer anyway. Anyway, but what was I saying? Yeah. So, yeah, she kept
No,
saying.
that's not a threat. That's a promise.
Yeah. So, she kept saying to that. Apparently, I got some. I don't know. Or that the undead don't. Undead seem to be like. I don't know, something she hasn't seen before. It was pretty good. I sat there meditating, thinking about not thinking. It
That
was
sounds hard.
yeah, it was much harder than you would think. But yeah, we did find out more.
There's a lot of thinks.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it seems like thinking about not thinking is kind of self-defeating.
yeah. But no, it's essentially not to worry about things and to ask people for help. It's like with this, and she points to the shaven side and whatnot. Found out some information. Like some, she said that it's like the spirits that kind of looked into it and found out that some powerful person must have done it. And she was reading through some books, and apparently there was a family called what are they called? The Kolduris. If I pronounced that correctly, I have no idea. Kolduris family seemed to have died by sea around the same time, which I forgot stuff. So whether they're related, I don't know. You know, I remember it's like you saying you went to a volcano now. It's like, yeah, with your teleportating thing. Yeah, when you did that, we ended up in, how do I say the name?
Velum Pabat.
Ended up there. Yeah, Velum Parbat. Big, volcano.
But you weren't there.
Hmm?
But you weren't there.
Oh, I was
I
there.
was told I was transporting Juan somewhere.
Yeah, I was there too. You know when you
What's
kind of like walked and then you stopped? And you couldn't figure out why you stopped? That was me giving you a hug.
One, don't ever do that again, and two, I'm gonna have to look into this. As he kind of leans back and goes back to his massage.
Yeah, Ron got some powder thin, she put it over my head, and then yeah, no one could see me or hear me.
You know, that's that's very similar to what what was the elephant's name again?
Or Sin kind of sits up. He's like, wait, she hasn't finished yet. Hold on to that question.
Yeah.
What the fuck were you doing at Velum Parbat? As he kind of re-looks at you.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
Oh yeah, well, it was a big volcano place, but it wasn't like fiery. Well, I suppose it was fiery, but it wasn't like matte orange fiery. It was I believe it was a bluish color. Must have been some, I don't know, magical energies or something. But I saw Bardim like in the lava, and I kind of rushed forward, and you was there, Conrad, and you was there, Nat, and you helped me like get through the lava a bit. Then I'm trying to remember the order of it now. You was there, Sin, you got your stick, you helped me go forward a bit more. Even Demisarius was there, you trucked me a good 20 feet or so, that was pretty good. And then
Demisarius stops eating his melon. I wasn't there.
Yeah, neither was I.
oh,
I nearly wasn't there.
Raina was defeated there, she slapped me on the button as the last bit going forward. And
It
then
does sound like Reyna though.
That sounds like me, but I don't recall this.
And Demisarius goes, I do like throwing things.
And then Shock, you were there. You picked me up. You got me closer. I went to reach Barden, but he was already too far gone in the lava. But when you sent me back down, everyone disappeared, and there was about like 40. Did I recognize them as Dracoliches? Or just undead?
Dragon bones.
There was like 40 like animated like dragon like draconic bones. It seemed like I must admit I thought I was going to die. My legs were stuck into the ground, but then I did what one said and let it go, as it were. Long story short, I ended up back home and we had a good evening.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure everyone is just staring at you with eyebrows raised, very
Yeah.
confused.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
what?
that was
Was in your
story, I
training like
guess.
that? Oh yeah, I missed a bit. Oh well. It's all good.
Well, you're alive now, so that's what counts.
Mhm.
Your hair looks great.
I know. I'm quite happy with this. Yeah.
It's quite impressive. Though, to be fair, I don't know if I was the one that slapped your ass. I'll be honest. Which cheek was it on?
I don't know which one.
You're right.
The right one.
Okay, that sounds like me. Sipping my liqueur.
So
Either
what's
way,
your
thanks
next?
for the help.
Well, I might go next because seems relevant.
Quick question though, Reyna. Does it have to do with anything that we may need privacy for?
Maybe. Hmm.
Do you guys mind excusing us for a moment? Carla, to the attendants.
Oh, would you like some privacy?
Yes, please.
But of course. Everyone, I'm initiating the privacy protocol. And you listen to her start incanting some arcane language. Draws a sigil in the air, and you guys watch as there's a quick poof of like, and just kind of crackle of purplish energy out of the symbol she kind of draws in the air. And you watch as all of their eyes kind of glaze over. And they all continue doing what they were doing.
Do you recognize this sin?
He kind of like leans back and looks at the gnome. He's like, seems to be like some blindness, deafness spell.
Are they both blind and deaf?
And he kind of like waves his hand past the gnome's face, and there's like no reaction. He's like, yeah, seems like it. I
Okay,
mean,
well there you go.
considering how much we paid, it seems pretty appropriate.
Fair enough. Alright then. Well, Rhea, you know how you talked about the whole dust on forehead thing?
Oh yeah.
So keep that in mind.
Mhm.
So when I first started out, Kraz, he kind of put me through the ringer of meditation. It's not really my thing, but we had to look, well, I had to look back on my past actions. By the way, speaking of, Rhea, Jacques, I'm sorry for giving you two a hard time.
General look, a serious look of momentary confusion, followed by Jacques going, it's okay.
And, well, I learned a new perspective of things. At first, I was concentrating
Sin's
on...
gonna go ahead and roll insight on that. Okay.
And essentially things led to another, and Kraz told me to take each of your forms. And then how do I explain? He told me to cast your spells or abilities. I was bewildered at first, but after a while, this sense of understanding started to come over me. And, well, I went on a spirit journey, and I spent time with each of you during your respites training. The second day, if it matters. I sat down with Ria when she was in, I don't know if it was pain, but you're surrounded by a bunch of spirits. I think your trainer, she knows me, but what's through me, if anything.
Hold on 1 second. Everyone see the message on InfoShare? Right, continue.
Yeah.
It doesn't apply to you.
Okay. And, well, you look like you're in pain, honestly. I spent time sitting with you. And, also I watched you, Conrad, and I had a good laugh about the torture you were going through, but I
Oh,
also...
thanks.
But in seriousness, I felt worried for your safety. I didn't realize how tough it was. And even then, I visited Unitaria, and all I can say is, sorry, I wish I was able to hug each one of you. In the end, I had to reflect. And to my surprise, when I concentrated, when I looked at things not from my perspective, but from your perspective, I felt closer to each one of you and was able to replicate some of your quirks, as were.
It's funny because like when you said, oh, I got to laugh at it, like our eyes like went like the usual, like, oh, great, thanks, right now. Then he gets like eyes like kind of soften as you kind of continued on, and he kind of pats you on the head, like the shoulder. I'm glad you definitely seem a bit more well-rounded now, I would say.
Damon Stairs goes, I don't know what half those things are, but you can do cool stuff now?
In theory, yes. But,
Like?
well, anything you can do, I can do approximately okay in.
Well, show us.
I
And I
need
know
to.
you normally have to prepare it, but this one time I'm going to allow you because you should be receiving a whole bunch of power cards. Go ahead and choose one of their encounters. If you would like to.
Sure. Let's see here. You said encounters, correct?
Yep, non-racial. And there's two more coming towards you.
Okay.
Yeah, I sent you mine as well, but mine require weapons, just to let you know.
Yeah, I think spells and stuff I can cover, but weaponry I can't really. I think I need as well. Alright. So many things to keep track of now.
Yes. You don't no longer have one power card. You have all the power cards.
Well, let's see if this is a familiar one. I'm going to stand up and poof, a bunch of raven feathers and cloud.
That is a racial one.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck!
Sorry.
And if you did do that, it would just be a cloud of smoke, not the raven feathers, because that comes from her item.
See, the reason I said raven feathers is that's why I thought I did it. All right, I need to do more reading.
By the way, Colin's gonna say, I tried to pick something that won't cause any.
Oh, that's...
Okay, so everything.
I mean, you could do something that hurts someone. I got that covered. In multiple ways, actually.
And Ash is watching just to see what happens.
I want this to flow better, but I literally have to do a bunch of reading.
No worries.
Take your time and pick the most deadliest fin.
I mean, you guys did get it Sin to say he would pay for it.
Yeah, and
But he also did say you all owe him, so keep that in mind.
Conrad owes him twice now. Oh god.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you volunteer to other people to pay.
Well, guess what? He did pay for the last one, just to let you know.
I will say, this one's a little bit more expensive than Convertible.
Okay. Well, how
Last
about...
one had more perks.
Alright, how about... So can I activate one without actually making an attack?
Which one?
I'm looking at Acid Claw.
Sure. You're gonna still need a target, though.
I'll target a Demon Series.
Okay.
Well, how about this? I'm going to make my hand mimic Jacques. And sorry about this, Demon Series. I'm just gonna make a swipe at him.
Okay, go ahead and roll a d20.
Yeah, it could have
Okay.
been better.
You miss. It flies right by his head and it starts burning one of the walls.
Conrad just kinda went.
Did it really have to be mine? That says.
About as accurate as that Acid Claw, too.
Booey's just gonna clap. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very serious goes,
impressive.
oh, that's awesome.
Should we get their attention about that?
Sin's like, just let me enjoy this, please.
I'm going to be honest, I'm still learning.
You'll get
No
used to
worries.
it.
It's a lot to take in for me and the player. But in all honesty, after a bit of training with each of you, I can probably maintain one of your quirks for a day or so. Again, I point at the acid hole. I am going to need a bit of training before I can maintain it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like how bad's the hole in the wall? The acid was.
It's about like a 1-inch hole.
Okay, it's not like. Okay, I figured it would have been much worse.
Is it in the rice paper?
No, it's in the wood.
Fuck.
That's why it's only 1 inch, or it would have been a really big hole.
Yeah, see, I thought it was like literally just, just melting the whole thing down. It's like.
Question. That doesn't count as a ally, does it?
No.
Oh.
Even
I
from the
tried.
wall.
I tried.
Just embarrassed. Just sipping my liqueur, just embarrassed.
Coward's gonna kind of pat you on the back while he
Yeah.
sips his drink. That's okay, buddy.
Um,
What about you, Naturia? How's your training?
What Sam was like, wait, before we get to that, that's all you had to do was just sit around and think of us?
Well, I did spy on each one of you, and
God, it sounds boring.
quite like your books, honestly.
Don't you dare talk about my books.
But I also had to learn about someone in particular. Well, first I started learning about other people, their perspectives, For example, there was a man whipping a slave. At first, as I suppose anyone would imagine, see it as a cruel and malicious act. But after watching and observing, he honestly was nothing more than an abused child himself, taking his anger and aggression out. Granted, it doesn't validate him, rather, it just brings context to it. And that's what I learned, to see people's perspectives, or attempt to.
I think that's a good lesson to learn that most people ignore.
And yeah, it's humbling at the least. But
You know, no, well, that's like, you know, if that's the case, there might be something I have that you may like. You know, she's like actually like thinking about it.
what might that be?
Like, you know, she's like, when I turn on the sparks and go poof.
It's called spark form on your paper.
Ah,
Hmm.
let's see that.
I find that one really fun.
Ah,
I just thought, if you can like copy our abilities, maybe you can heal people as well.
I might be able to.
Yeah.
Come play with me with the Raven Queen sometime.
I would love to. Honestly, I would like to get to know each one of you better as is, and now I kind of have a reason to. You know, other than being your friend.
Emissaries looks over. So this one's our friend now?
Yeah.
Okay, you get a very harsh slap on your back. Welcome to the Onyx Circle.
Face into the water.
I do it too. I do it too. Why not? Welcome to the Onyx Circle. Slap smack.
You feel a vertebra in your spine, Mr. Lion.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, do I get one of your fancy earrings?
Nat looks the same.
Give me some money and I can do it.
How much?
Me as a DM will have to go look at the note real quick.
Yeah, I imagine Sin's like kind of taking that like cucumber off his eyelid. Is like, you know, later.
As I look in Sin's inventory, should be in all your guys' inventory minus hers.
We'll check.
I has no idea.
Agumon pulls out a note from his bag.
100 gold of onyx.
If I give you the gold, can you just purchase the onyx?
No, purchase the onyx. Save me a trip to the store.
After this.
That's a fair point. Shouldn't... Do you want one, Jack?
It's okay.
You
Are you
sure?
sure, man?
I think you match quite well.
It kind of fits your whole gothic thing.
The emissaries kind of looks over. He's like, "Wait, is this one also a part of us now?
Yep.
If he wants to be.
I mean, doesn't he like eat people and shit?"
Do you eat goats? Or cows? Or pigs? Or sheep?
They're not people.
I mean, sometimes there are, like, goat people.
I mean, are you saying that
Well,
Cletus
I've
wasn't
never
a
eaten
people?
goat person.
Is Cletus not a people?
I mean, but he's a
He's a cow person.
Minotaur.
He's a cow person.
Yeah, but there's a person.
I literally live with a troll.
Still a person.
It's okay, he's a person too.
A dead one.
So?
Yeah.
Just
well,
make
fair
We
sure-
were all dead at one point.
What?
Yeah,
Wait,
but when I'm dead, I'm dead. Like that's it. I
how
ain't
do
gonna
you
be
know?
people. Because
You could
I
be
will
a spooky,
taken into-
spooky skeleton too.
No. Cord will take my spirit into the afterlife, where I shall fight in his honor.
I will point this out here. If it was not for Jacques' action, we would all be dead.
That is
Quite
very
literally.
true.
Ah,
I personally say he's probably the most human out of all of us. Bear in mind, he's a
Um,
dragonborn. Take no offense. offense.
Most mortal out of us.
Seeing that he's outnumbered, Damasaris kind of, recoils a little bit, starts drinking his drink, just kind of leering over it in Jacques' direction.
It's up to
Two.
you anyway.
And Jacques goes, well, when I have some money again, I can...
I'll
Don't.
cover yours.
No, I'll cover you. So,
Oh, I'm the only one that hasn't paid for anything in ages. Let me do it for the both of you.
Jesus Christ, Jacques is getting something and all the girls pop up. Don't worry. I got it.
Everyone wants that bad dragon.
Shonen
up.
protagonist status achieved.
He doesn't have goggles though.
How do you know?
Okay. So Coward's gonna raise his class. Okay. How about a toast to the 2 new members of our Onyx Circle? Or 2 new friends.
Cheers afterwards, Sing goes.
Okay.
We're still missing one.
We are.
Or 2.
Or 3?
No, just 2.
Yeah. So Coward takes his drink now.
That's a fair point. Is Mithra still reading her book?
Yes, she is.
So you got a book?
I do not know.
wasn't it a book about killing people?
Yeah.
Usually is.
It grew up so fast. Now
I
as she
know.
takes her drink.
Damasaris is looking around very confused. Who's Vithrock?
Coward takes a long sip of his drink.
One more person for you to meet when we get back.
Okay.
Make
And
sure
he
you
continues drinking.
make sure you give them a giant hug.
He looks slightly distrustful at that.
Well, she may be small, but I'm pretty sure she'll be as strong as you when she grows up. Or, if not already.
Or stronger.
Possibly.
Damasaris looks very confused at this conversation.
Coward's just gonna look at them all and say, she was the daughter of that silver dragon that we slayed. Or, steel dragon, fuck.
Oh, okay.
I just thought she was a weasel.
No. She's a
That
dragon.
was a joke.
And Sin goes, well, Nat, we're still waiting for your story.
Yeah.
And
course.
Damasaris, don't think you're off the hook from this.
Tell us about that volcano.
That's kind of like almost choking on her drink a little bit when Random mentioned the volcano. Well, for my first day, I couldn't even find Jacques in his room, so I pretty much spent a good few hours actually looking for him. Of course, I looked a lot of places, but not enough places. I tried around the Oasis, and then I went into the Underground, I believe that name was, right?
Under Sin,
Wait, why'd you...
or Under Oasis is what it's referred to as.
Under Oasis?
Wait, you went to the Under Oasis?
Yeah, that place looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
It's actually the opposite of looking nice.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Okay, it looks terrible. I saw this really big glowing gem in the distance. Pretty dark too.
Well, it's under.
Was the gem made out of onyx?
Is Onyx a gem?
No.
I don't know. Warrior is
Okay,
not
well-
like an earthy person.
It seemed to be, it may not be exactly, but it seemed to look almost like a gigantic amethyst.
Yeah, it looked like a gigantic amethyst.
Right, not
Of
just
course.
thinking
Well-
about Amethyst.
Of course, the place was sometimes as shady as you'd think it was. I ended up having my money taken. Looks the jock, and
He's currently looking at Ruria, not even noticing that you're looking at him.
it's okay. It
Can't
didn't
tell
have to be mutual.
You can't tell if he's doing it on purpose or.
Doesn't matter. She's still telling the story anyway. So I ended up asking around for people. The guy tried to hit on me, but his girlfriend didn't like that very much. Whole bunch
Oh,
of
so
drama
you
and
did.
everything.
So Shock did hit on you.
No, I don't think that's what's happening here. Anyway,
Oh,
continue.
come on, that was an easy jab. Fine.
So that day I gave up and went back. Turns out Jacques already came back. And for my training, I seem to have a confidence problem, and that confidence problem seemed to affect my magic quite a bit. And I spent a good portion of time trying to improve on that. Without any money, I didn't really have any food. So I talked to the only person who was actually there about it, Grindel. And one thing led to another. I pretty much told her if we could arrange something for the food, I'd appreciate it. And apparently, we both kind of had different things in mind. But yeah,
You what? Kara says.
I ate that day.
Can I do an insight on what she means by that? I mean, I as a player know.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of.
Not the characters. Well,
Not the
Kara
characters, no.
kinda gets the idea.
Sure.
Yeah, Kara can tell, but like he
Yeah.
wants her to say.
I mean, again, you can assume whatever you would like.
No, I'll do the inside stuff. I don't think she'll quite be that, corrupted. Yeah.
I mean, she's not lying. She ate.
If I knew what was going on, I would have said calamari.
I'm gonna nod. Just nod.
So, you both had some pie then? Kara says.
That's just giving him a look.
What? I'm just trying to make things a bit more obvious here. You're being a little, quiet about it.
Yes, the first time I was doing it for food.
Wait, you got laid for food?
Pretty much.
Doc speaks up. To be fair, that's actually not what Grendel had in mind. Apparently, Naturia was the one who suggested it.
I thought that was what she was thinking. I assumed. I only have myself to blame for that.
You know what they say about assuming.
I mean, did you have a good night?
Yeah. She smiles.
There you go. Then.
So, you ate calamari that night.
Even that gets like a little red of that. She's like, yeah.
Rhea.
Mhm.
Nat or Damasarius kind of leans over. He's like, "What's calamari?"
Do I know what calamari is?
I mean, you grew up in a seaside sustained area, so yeah, probably.
Okay,
You've
yeah.
probably had it a few times.
Think of it like really fancy fish food.
Oh,
Really
okay.
fancy.
Wait, do you know what calamari is?
Nah?
I'm asking Rhea, like you as a person, do you know what calamari is?
Yeah, it's really fancy fish food.
The
I'm
squid
not sure she
tentacle.
does.
Specifically,
yeah,
what
squid.
type of aquatic animal?
Squid.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel like Raina tossed you that one, but anyway.
No, I knew it was squid. I was replying as Ruria, that is really fancy fish food.
Okay. Name of Sarah's goes, oh, okay. I like fish.
And for my next lesson, I actually learned something very interesting about what being a sorceress was about. And she says, it's not that you're born with, with magic. And she says, sorcerers dominate it.
Kinky.
Well, she kind of does give that does give that to him. Like, yeah, this. But we pretty much just make it bend to our will. And I learned how to move fire around.
Darius says, like, oh, show us.
Oh, and that's like, do we have songs?
Just
That looks
remember, you're a sorceress. Can you make fire?
I didn't know if I could control my own, but now that I know, yeah, she does it.
I'll allow it. If you're just trying to spark a small flame and then control it, I'll allow it.
Yeah, she shows that. And
How do you show it?
she pulls a hand out of the pool, and she makes a little bit of fire,
Like a torchlight fire appears in her hand.
and then she makes it go around the pool a little bit.
You watch as the fire begins to move about.
Very nice, Karen said.
Like, if she expanded it, how big would it expand? I'm gonna look at my power card.
Oh god.
Everyone
where it
burns
gets into
into
it?
flames.
She like puts the fire to the center, and then she expands it a bit. And then she expands it, and then she extinguishes it.
Hey.
It's nice to see they took care of our elf here.
Just to let you know, you can't, you don't just need to expand it one square. You can expand it one square, then on your next turn expand it another square, and another square. As long as you continue to sustain it, you can continue to expand it.
She just did like a little bit to show that it can expand, and then as soon as that happened, she just extinguished it.
Okay. You watch as the torchlight goes to like a campfire royal, and then it disappears.
Huh.
Karen starts clapping.
That-
Famous series, like a very special boy claps.
I'll stop. Okay, keep going.
A very regal clap.
Of course, Jacques did end up getting burned a bit.
I'm sure.
In the-
It's
Isn't that
okay,
right,
Jacques.
Jack?
Pat, 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 pat.
It's okay, Jacques. That happens around Nat sometimes.
I've noticed.
I have a countermeasure for that, though. Nat, are you able to set any one of these guys on fire? Just for a
What?
little bit.
Would you want me to?
Karen,
Everyone seems to be showing off. I want to join in.
There's
Every-
like me.
Oh, thank God. I don't want to be burned by gnats again.
I love your cooperative spirit, Demonstrators.
I don't know what that means, but do it.
Just, not too much. Just enough for it to hurt a bit. Nothing lingering, though.
Nat's gonna try something. She's gonna do the same thing she did before. She's gonna make the flame, but she's gonna put it on Demonstrators.
At that point, you might as well just try to blast him with arcing fire.
Fair enough.
Okay,
Arcing
go
fire
ahead.
it is.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll that. See if you get a nat 1 first.
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah.
Let's get us a Naturia.
Oh my god.
Oh man,
Okay.
it bounced
I
so
thought-
close.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, since
Yeah.
Daemosaurus is willing, it does hit.
Yeah, the moment Ellis starts like taking like damage is going through, just radiant armor. So
Okay. How much does that reduce?
damage dealt to the target is reduced to 0. Any
Okay.
other effects still apply.
Okay.
Yeah.
You watch as the fire streaks across, and right before it's about ready to hit Daemosaurus like square in the chin, a barrier of very dark purplish maroon, like almost shield, appears in front of Daemosaurus and blocks the fire.
Ooh,
Ooh,
that
very
not
nice.
bad.
Nifty.
Flaps again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that only work against magic or other things?
Only works if you get hurt.
Okay.
Yeah. Can't do it, too often, but if Nat decides to become a human fire but they get into a bedroom, then we got a bit of defense. It's all good.
Fair enough.
At least Nat knows how to keep the bed warm.
Hey, if that happens again, I got it under control.
But continue your story, Nat.
Yes. I actually did, feel the power that I had inside of me, and she like points to the spot in her chest. It's like right there. And I actually did feel, confident about myself for once. And it feels nice. But the final portion of the test, Jacques had a lot of fun with that one. And she like put the two
You
hands
see a slight smile creep across Jacques' face.
You see a shitting grin on Rhina's face, wanting to say something, but not.
I look between the two like, what happened? What happened?
So he said he was taking me to go see this trainer, and I kept wondering who this trainer was. So he grabs me. I was rather surprised by it, and then we fly over quite a fair distance, and we stop at a volcano.
Yeah. Volcano.
This
And-
story.
Yep, he was telling me this volcano was my trainer. And the last thing he tells me before it happens is, I hope this works. And he tosses me into the volcano.
We're just like, this Deadman's like, what?
Yep. He was carrying me, and then he dropped me into the volcano.
Okay, Jacques, did you not read the letter I put under the door? It says to take care of the elf, not drop the elf in a volcano. I mean,
She lived. Oh, I borrowed a resurrection scroll. I was
It was
prepared.
painful.
To be
Ooh.
fair, to be fair,
I was like kind of like back away from the two of them. I was like, this is like the couple's bickering.
to be fair, Maria, when you say take care of someone, when I get those orders, it means to kill them.
And Jacques points at Reyna. Like, see, I didn't do that. She's alive.
I was in agony. It was painful.
oh, okay.
The other character's laughing.
I'm just gonna like point to Nat, and then as Nat saying all that, just look at Jacques and be like,
I heard what she said, and she was fine. Okay.
mm-hmm.
My flesh was melting off.
Jacques kind of stops looking at Rhea for a moment, looks over at you, Nat, is giving you that like, come on, like stop.
She's telling it like it is. If Jock doesn't like the truth. Yep, my flesh was melting off, and I was pretty sure my stuff was burning.
I was like kind of wincing at this, like, oh. Like, so how'd you survive?
She didn't. She's a ghost, clearly.
I mean, I can always test that theory.
No, Reina, I'm a ghost. Ooh.
Kind of like.
Conrad, give me a wisdom save.
I was literally about to say that. Yeah, shall do.
That's not saying that. She's like, oh crap, he forgot.
How do I?
Just wisdom.
Save? Okay, I was about to ask.
A chill runs down your spine, Conrad. You don't know whether she's lying or not. You can't really think about it.
Do,
You just see Conrad kind of go like deadpan.
do I need to like do a test smite on someone to see whether they're a ghost or not?
No, you don't. That goes
Am
over
I?
to Conrad and is like, see, I'm real. And she boops Conrad.
That's exactly what a ghost would say.
Did that like spine and like kind of like tingle like more happen?
I'm just
I
gonna
mean, Conrad,
point.
the last time you ran into a ghostly anything, when it touched you, it definitely made contact.
Yeah, I was gonna say during my training, I was scratched by ghosts quite a lot.
Conrad's like just like a little.
Conrad, I'm not.
Below the water.
No. That tries to pull him back up. No, Conrad, I'm not a ghost. Okay.
Like he's just like still like sinking, like yeah, he's like very going
That-
like that thing where you go limp, kind.
I'm giving.
Can't believe
I'm just gonna
God.
give Shock the look. You know the look, but that look.
She
That's
was
like-
fine.
Nat was trying to cover Conrad. It's like, I'm not a ghost.
Conrad just going ragdoll.
Well,
He essentially did.
And that's like still like continuing her story actually, because like I literally had to think fast, or I was gonna pretty much be melting to death. And I remembered the power I had inside of me,
Power that's inside.
and all of a sudden it just, the lava didn't hurt anymore. And as soon as this revelation was made, I got out of the volcano and I saw my body was pretty much fire, right? I'm asking David.
It was fire.
And I was like, I was surprised why the lava wasn't hurting anymore, and I just noticed my body was actually made of fire.
What it looked like, it matched the description of what your friends told you of that one time, and what you saw that one time after you died.
Yeah, it reminded me of that. It reminded me of what you guys saw after the collar broke.
Am I not ragdoll anymore, Damon, or am I still ragdolled?
I mean,
Can
it's
I roll
up to
something
you.
to comfort him? You're like, what?
You're good.
Okay.
Okay.
I think if you,
You mean
play
like
the,
Amix kind of right? It does like kind of regaining his senses.
Sing goes, well, maybe MX, but continue.
That's covering Conrad by putting his head to her chest, just holding him there.
yes,
okay.
boobs.
Okay, Conrad, you save.
Okay.
Boobs always save.
So,
Notes
What they're
for
nurturing,
later.
okay, guys?
okay, yeah, it is.
I need that on a t-shirt. Boobs always save.
Okay, now, what else happened?
Like I told Jack, he said, I couldn't believe I became the one thing that wanted to destroy me. And Jock found that funny. I'm glad somebody did. Looks at Jock, he's probably not even looking at that again.
He's currently looking away, trying to avert and avoid gazes from Maria.
and apparently I did it correctly because I was out of a volcano in one piece. I
Yeah.
can't say the same for some of my clothing though.
I'm glad you're okay, Nat. And then Conrad like kind of wraps his arms around you and hugs.
Nat hugs back.
I pat Nat on the head, and then just do a quick slap on the back of the head to Shock. Like, pat, pat, pat.
Kinda rubs the back of his head. Still not looking at you.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I literally had to cool off because I was really hot.
But
You
Nat,
could literally hear it as I
Nat,
cooled down.
you're always hot.
Damn it! You're the second person who said that today.
Hey. Can you make this a
And
hot
for-
bath?
Huh?
Oh, I just wondered if you can make this a hot bath.
It's already pretty hot.
Probably it already is hot, so
A hotter bath.
Does that feel hot in this, or is it just like a bath?
It's water.
Feels just like water to me. Wait, do you mean if I could do that, you know, what I did again?
that may not be the safest option. I'm just gonna put that out there right now.
We already put a hole in that wall.
Yeah.
You put a hole in the wall.
Facing
My point
Drake.
is, you want to boil all your friends?
Nat ponders this for a moment.
as Conrad is literally point blank.
It's fine, he's got 5 assistants, it's all good.
Yeah, but you don't.
I don't, but eh.
So who,
Yeah.
raise their hands. Who actually wants to see me try to do it?
No.
I have a
Okay,
feeling
so
only
that's
one
aside.
person. I have a feeling only one person is currently raising their hand.
Who is
Probably.
it? Damn, serious.
Damn, it's Aries. Never mind, 2 hands, because I have a feeling Rhea might be raising her hand too.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not.
Okay. Damn, Aries is the only one raising his hand.
That's like fair enough. So for a week, no, maybe less, you just flew me there. Well, not flew me there. We pretty much camped near the volcano, and then for my training, you just tossed me back in.
And Jack immediately looks at you, Rhea. Still alive.
Again, just another
To be
line.
fair, she's still alive. And he did it again and again.
And
Yeah,
he starts
yeah.
going again,
It-
kind of
yeah, a lot
rubbing
of-
his bridge of his nose, like, God damn it, you didn't have to keep going.
He had a lot of fun doing it too. I could just see the smile on his face. I think that was the first time I see him like smile that hard.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad I don't have to smite you yet. I pat Shock on the head. Like, I go to, like, smack him on, but then stop just before and just pat.
He's not looking at you, so as soon as your arm gets close, he kind of winces because he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
He's like, "Eh?"
He's like, "Is this a smite or a pat?"
And that's like, and then for our last day, he was trying to see if I could do it without getting, you know, thrown into the volcano. And she's like doing the motion. And I actually did it. I tapped into the power inside it.
Yeah.
James Harry's like, could you do it now?
Get out of the pool first.
Might
Again, probably not a good idea.
want to do it in an open space as well.
I'm pretty sure there's very little places I can do it without causing.
And that you would know that you're not quite there yet to call it on command.
Yeah, it's like I could try. I could attempt to try it, but I don't know if it actually work.
Alright, this is what we have to do. Alright, Jacques, get ready to fly. We're going to the volcano.
I think Jacques had enough fun of that for a while.
Hang on.
James is like, ooh, me next, me next. I walked around with my uncle. He taught told me about the tribe. Now we have a connection to primal spirits and all of nature, and now I can turn into this.
I see you've been making great use out of it.
Yeah, I like to put meat on there and then just like hold it there while I'm eating other food, and then I can just pull it off. I used to put cheese on this one as he's pointing to his horn tusk thingies.
To be fair, that's a good way to use it.
I turned from the fire. Can I cook food? She's like thinking this. She's like holding Conrad, like drinking her drink with her other hand.
And Damasaries looks at Sin. So, hey little guy, what you learn? Sin kind of like raises his eye, or like kind of raises his head a little bit, looks at all of you guys,
That's what he expectingly.
and he snaps his fingers, and there's a quick flash, and all of you guys are sitting in different positions. Nat, you currently have Sin wrapped around. You're currently hugging Sin.
Oh, is his face in her chest now?
Yes. Rhea, you are currently sitting on Damasaries, or sitting next to Damasaries. Conrad and Jacques are sitting almost in each other's lap. Reyna, you are underneath the water.
Oh, what the heck? Conrad's kind of like,
Jacques like, what? He kind of scoots away.
Is
Oh.
the water foggy at all?
Not really.
Oh, okay, then let's pop up. So if it was
And that's like
concealing,
That's like really Sin. This-
What? He said he wanted to see what I could do.
Conrad's like kind of like scoots away from Jock as well. It's like, oh, that was unexpected.
yeah, now like let's go, Sin.
Sin's like, what? You didn't have to stop.
she didn't have to continue either.
Nah. So long story short, I learned how to manipulate space.
What about time?
Wait, what'd you say?
What about time?
Kind of narrows his eyes at you. He's like, you want to know where I could send you?
No, not really.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's
You
more
just
so
kinda
because
lean
because I would go over my head.
Jacques continues to scoot closer towards Rhea.
He's making his way around the pool.
Yeah. Sandy Screw is like, did you learn anything?
Who?
Shock.
You learned how to throw an elf.
Yeah.
He kind of looks over at Rhea for a moment and kind of like nods like in the air. No.
You know, despite the the burning sensation of a volcano, I'm actually glad you're having fun for once. And she smiles.
Damasaries gets out. And he's like, okay, enough sharing time. I'm gonna get me one of these drinks, and I think we should probably yeah, I'm gonna get a massage.
Yeah, I gotta get the salon. Yeah. Conrad gets in the salon chair.
I'm getting all of it. That's what she's.
I am going to sit.
I will sit as well.
I am just going to lounge. Just very. You know, like the old 70s models with the big hats and those white sunglasses? That kind of lounging.
Sin walks over and begins to cast a ritual for the next 10 minutes to fix the wall.
Yeah. Saves us some money.
Oh yeah.
And Sin, as he's going over to that, Scott, can these people not be blind and deaf anymore?
I imagine it to kind of probably tap him and let him know.
He walks over to the tiefling, taps her. She looks over. Are you finished? And he just taps twice. I'll take that as a yes. And she waves her hand, and you watch as all of their eyes return to normal. What's weird is, as you guys were getting out and going to like get ready for spa stuff, they were already moving to go assist you.
Okay. Interesting.
Huh.
They seemed oh so trained in whatever they're doing that they don't need to see.
Or here, apparently.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And we'll say he does that after he fixes the wall.
Yeah, I imagine that's
Yeah.
the play there.
Yep. Yeah. So, those who get spa treatments, massages, you guys get the full run of things. Drinks continue to flow. And we'll say like another 2 hours. Conrad, anyone who's getting hair or anything else trimmed or redone, after session, you can just basically say what you guys got if there's any changes. All those things would be available, and they are very good at what they do, so it's all done.
Awesome.
I don't even think Dad's hair is grown at all, so.
It has. Definitely not the short boyish hair you had. It's honestly at this point it's getting close to your shoulders.
Really?
Some of it's probably getting a little bit past it on the back. You gotta remember, it's been like fucking 5 months since you've been here and you've never gotten a haircut.
That's true.
Yeah.
To be fair, it will top out at a certain point unless you get the tips done.
I mean, it was short to begin with.
You have to keep doing the tips or else it'll get to a certain point.
But
I know the
you guys' nails and stuff, anyone who wanted a pedicure and manicure, got it done. Your hands are looking fly and awesome. At one point, Sin jokes about Jacques getting one. And Reina, or Rio, do you push that subject?
I will just simply smile. And then let
Okay.
Shocker forward from there.
Okay, since you're not prodding him, he refuses to do it.
right, no, we're proud.
He refuses to do it.
I like to think it's one of those moments if Roria says yes, then I'll do it.
Huh, we know who wears the pants.
But your guys' spa day comes to an end. You guys dry off. The baskets are re-brought into your room. And all of your clothes are fresh, clean. Small holes and stuff like that on your non-magical stuff have been repaired and patched over. And you guys are fresh, clean, relaxed. And you guys are escorted out into the main area. The madam sees you all exiting, and she says, I hope you all enjoyed yourselves.
It was a nice experience. Thank you.
Of course, please return to the Divine Gate. And she kind of like does a slight bow as you guys exit out.
I'll be sure to give a good review.
Please do. And as Ruria passes, she looks at you, Ruria. And please do, mention anyone at the palace. I'm sure if any of your acquaintances there would surely love a day at our or time at our spa.
Recommend us to the palace.
I will certainly recommend anyone that I come across.
And Sin speaks up. Hear that, Reina? Ruria recommends this to the palace people, so I guess it's recommended to you.
Oh, I'm sure Grom would love to come here.
Oof.
Madam Mystique, confused, not understanding that Reina is a Royal Guards person.
I will literally just, as I put my hat back on, have my colors be bright Royal Guard colors.
Oh, then yes, of course. Definitely send that Grom or any other royal. She kind of loses her words. Her gracefulness is momentarily shattered as the realization hits her.
Don't worry, I'll tell them exactly how you treated one of their own.
Oh, of course, my lady. Was everything not to your liking?
Oh, it was wonderful.
Sin immediately a large hand pushes you out of the establishment,
Ah!
and Sin looks over. Yeah, no, don't worry about it, ma'am. We will recommend it. And she looks very confused and kind of startled on you guys' both entrance and exit out of this place.
Bye.
Bye.
Can't take you kids anywhere nice.
That's giving Kyra a look. Like,
Damon kind of stares at you all as you guys exit, and he just kind of pauses by the entranceway. Just kind of stares at you guys, smiling.
that smiles back.
What's up, Demosaurus?
Oh, it's just, you know, you're all very different.
Says the giant animal man.
I'm a man animal, thank you very much.
A manimal?
He ponders it for a moment. He mutters it, like, underneath his breath, to where he's not actually talking. I like that. The manimal.
Yeah, and Nat's like, yeah, we're different, but we're all back together now.
Oh, I wasn't saying it was a
That's all
bad
that matters.
thing. Like, you guys just seem, I don't know. Like, you're ready to take on a dragon or something.
Oh gosh.
I,
At that point, a three-headed dragon comes down from the sky.
Roll initiative.
I think what it's called is, in the writing guild, they call it character development.
Okay. Whatever that is. So, you guys hungry? I'm hungry.
Yeah, I can go for some food.
Hell
Booze and
yeah.
food?
Of
And
course.
Emissaries pass through the groups and starts leading you guys towards Dick's.
Alright.
Oh, here we go, a long walk.
And you guys wander through, and yes, the city is still, over the couple hours that you guys have been in the spa, it's pretty packed. Demissaries leads you guys up and around this way.
Hold on, which way? Okay.
Because as you guys are passing by, this area looks flooded as all hell.
Is this area still super flooded?
Yes.
Okay.
He kind of guided you guys this way because there does seem to be a slight break once you guys get past this.
Okay. We on this side or are we on this side?
Kind of through here.
Okay.
It's around this area. It's normal traffic.
Okay. As we're walking past the bazaar, is there any interesting things just eye-catching?
I mean, there's always quote-unquote interesting things in the bazaar. What you looking for? Gotta be more specific than that.
Literally just window shopping mentality. Nothing specific.
Nothing really is like, oh, let me go
Onyx! We need Onyx!
You actually do need Onyx, yeah.
stop by. Sin stops in front of a certain familiar magical shop, and he looks at you, Raina, and he's like, go inside and pick up 200 gold worth.
Wait, we need 300 gold's worth.
Looks over. I thought you said Rhea was going to do it.
Yeah.
Just
It's okay, I've got this one. I've got to pay for something at least. And I'll just wonk it in.
And there you see Melanotius, who's currently eating something. Whatever it is, he's slurping it like noodles, but it's clearly moving on its own.
I'm gonna go
Yeah,
in with Rhea as well.
that's probably in the finally check out this Melanodius.
I just
Those
walk
who go
in.
inside see Melanotius, who's currently eating something.
Hello.
It's like slurping noodle, but it moves.
Yeah.
He slurps one and he's like, yeah, what do you want?
Just wondered if you had about how much onyx do you have?
How much onyx do you need?
About 300's worth? Gold, I mean.
He sighs, reaches over, and on one of the counters, a box floats off. Comes towards him. That box opens. You see pieces come out of it. And he's like, there you go. That's about 300 gold worth.
That's great. And yeah, Ray just plops down the 300 gold and takes the onyx.
Have a nice day. Don't
Yeah.
come back until my lunch is over.
Okay, have a nice lunch. And walks out.
Now
I
it's just
will
been like,
once you leave.
now it's just been staring at him the whole time, just like,
He
wow.
does not look towards you whatsoever. He's currently reading a book as he's slurping on.
Just makes it easier for Nash. He's like, wow.
Right, I was just gonna. Nice shopping with you again.
Did you get it? Kyra did not go inside.
Jock, Emissary, everyone else stayed outside.
Yeah.
And really, the women went in.
Yeah.
This is the most stereotypical thing ever.
As soon as Maria pops out, I imagine she's just holding, I don't know if it's a bag or a box with like onyx, and she goes, "Here you go."
You literally have loose pieces of onyx, and you just kind of pile it into Sin's stuff, and he like, yeah, okay, and he puts it in his robe, and it disappears.
Thank you.
I'll get him to you guys tonight.
I was debating doing anything, but I decided not to.
And you guys continue through.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I had a
Okay.
question.
Oh, what was that?
What time is it now?
It's probably about like 3 in the afternoon.
Too early.
And you guys continue on through. You get to Dick's. There are some patrons in here. Honestly, maybe about 10. It's pretty typical standard Dick's, people. A couple of them are at a table with Alphine playing cards. She seems to be winning. There are 2 ladies kind of giggling at a table, and you see Granite is there, kind of hosting them a bit.
No, it's AMA Host Club.
And you see Dix and Gilneth behind the counter. And as you guys are looking upon your kind of staple go-to place here, kind of just all together as a group again for the first time in more than a month, especially with Demissaries. You guys look forward to spending an evening of drinking, eating, and all that fun, as we're gonna go ahead and end the session right there.
Okay. It's
Yay.
okay. Yay.
So we shall continue this adventure next Sunday on the next Dungeons, Jesus Christ, Dragons, Death, and Destiny.
I can't believe we.
Till then, we got Doggos on Tuesday. So we will see you then. Bye. Go ahead and end stream.
Bye bye.
I can't believe we had a spa episode that didn't end in an orgy.